Hi!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ironkeep Chronicles. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Tom Lommel. Some call me the Dungeon Bastard. Every Wednesday night, I assemble an all-star cast to play the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We are embarking on a great journey, a journey we call an expedition to the Barrier Peaks. Let's meet our players who have come here, who have come assembled to indulge in great combat.
You didn't have to build us.
Yeah, we don't have to be built. That's what.
Oh, you're pre-made.
You're ruined.
All right.
Sorry.
Same joke, same person.
Over on this side of the camera, it is Gaurav Galati, everyone.
It's me. Hi.
Flying solo today.
It's
Flying
me, solo. I got
today.
the whole table to myself, so that means...
Oh, thanks for the sub.
Oh, Thomas, hey, thanks for the sub. I am Thon of the Wood. I'm playing Thon of the Wood. My name's Gaurav. Did this in the wrong order. I'm a folk hero and a ranger, and all around...
cool.
Did you say and cool?
And cool.
And cool. That's how he describes himself. He's cool. He's a
Well,
chill...
oh, I was talking about you.
Oh, I'm cool. Well, yeah, I'm cool. I'll give you that.
You're cool.
Yeah.
Thon's a prick.
Yeah, he's kind of a prick. No, he is kind of a prick.
Very good, very good. Over on this side of the camera, that's weird. Megan Caves Callerman.
Yes, I am Megan Caves, and I am playing Ava, and she is a druid. She's an Aasimar druid, Scourge Aasimar, which I haven't done a whole lot with yet. She can do some crazy shit. Anyway, and she is an avatar of Barshala, the water goddess. She's an acolyte. I don't think I've ever said that before. She's an acolyte.
What does that mean?
You know, I don't entirely remember, to be honest.
Sorry.
He's also an acolyte.
Put you on the spot.
Well, it's my own fault for mentioning it, so.
Like, do you mean an acolyte, like technical? Oh,
It's
that's
a
your
background.
background.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
your
background.
All right,
We're both
very good.
acolytes.
I thought it was just like a cool title.
Nope, this is the acolyte side of the table. You can only be an acolyte over here. No one else.
The left hand of darkness to the right hand of acolyte is
It makes sense.
playing Grayson Hale. Eric Reichert is here, everyone.
Hey everyone, Grayson Hale, Paladin of Torm, all around good human man, acolyte, and total human guy.
Human acolyte. Don't ask him about that.
Don't ask him why.
Don't bring it up because it's a boring story about how human he is.
It's a very extremely boring story. Yes, that's true.
He has no secrets about his parentage because, or his race because he's a human. Then there are no secrets to be had.
No, there's absolutely nothing to be
Humans
discovered
don't have
along those
secrets.
lines. Yeah. Hey everyone, so thank you so much for joining us here on our Wednesday night game. Havana Mahoney is otherwise engaged this fine evening. She would normally be here, but she has other duties to attend to, so she will be back next week. She sends her regrets and apologies, but that's okay. We shall soldier on. So, as you all may be aware, if you do exclamation point tips or exclamation point unlocks, you can learn how you folks at home, you yourselves, can influence, alter, and or bend the course of tonight's events. So we have a few things in the hopper, and obviously you may have seen this before, but people like Thomas W. DeYoung and James V have resubbed. James V resubbed times 15.
Woo!
15 months.
15 months in a row.
Amazing.
How many, Dom, how many months have we been on Twitch? Like, not a lot more than 15.
It's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm about 15 seconds behind. What?
How many months have we been on Twitch?
Well,
Like we started on YouTube, right?
Well, I mean, we've been on Twitch, but it's how long since affiliate
subbing
status?
and
Yeah.
affiliate. All right.
We were never affiliate. We went straight to partner.
Straight
Okay.
to
We didn't have
partner.
affiliate when we
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
right.
It's not important. You can go back to the
15 months.
back to the 15
15
months exactly. All right, very good. So James V's been with us the whole time. Thank you so much for your patronage. And BSB Cares in for $10. So Thomas W. DeYoung for resubbing gets a reroll. So does James V. Thomas W. DeYoung's reroll goes to
Havana Mahoney.
Havana Mahoney. What? Oh no! The part of Havana Mahoney would be played by this stack of campaign coins. No, Eric Reichert. Bam!
Thank you.
And James V gives his reroll to Megan.
Yay! Thank you, James V.
Everyone loves the acolytes.
Yes.
And Bastion feels I know that's coming my way.
Bastion!
Well, I don't know why Dom
Is
has
it?
to even type it into the screen.
I saw your song.
I don't know. What? My song?
Not you. Bastion.
Huh?
Bastion's tweeting songs at me.
Oh, very good, very good.
I haven't looked at it yet. But
Yes, so you can help shape the course of tonight's action, as it were. DJ Regular's in for 5. Thank you
Hey,
so
thanks for the
much.
5, DJ.
So,
Don't think I forgot, DJ.
there
I want those
are-
clips.
Clips. Oh, I did see that too.
Clips, the king
I
of
saw that and
king
posted
of
you.
clips.
Clips. Yeah. I know what's happening.
Awesome. So while we wait for those rewards to filter their way through our fancy internet, through a series of tubes and cables that we like to call the internet,
Pneumatic and otherwise.
let's recap what happened last week here on the.
Oh, is that me?
I don't. You're always the best at it.
Okay. So last week, we made our way into Barrier Peak. We found a magical cave entrance, and we solved the riddle of getting in. Turns out it's an elevator. I spent a lot of time trying to cut a hole in it, and turns out it was just an elevator. So we pressed some buttons, and it opened up. We pressed more buttons and took the elevator down. We have no idea what an elevator is, but we took it down to an area full of weird plant people, and we fought a hole in the ground.
We took the elevator down to heaven.
Yeah, we took the elevator down to heaven, and then a hole in the ground tried to eat Avril, or eat Ava and Thon.
Similar.
Yeah, so then I stabbed it to death, the hole in the ground. Then we found some weird plant people who don't speak any language that we can discern. So I stuck my hand in some dirt and got stabbed by plants and spoke to the king of King Mudbutt himself, and he told us that to get to where we're going, we have to go to Hell 3, so 3rd level of Hell, and that the gnome we've been running into a lot, Warwint, is from this area apparently and escapes. He's one of the few people to escape, so we have to go figure that all out. Havana's or Ava's.
Ooh, keeps doing it.
Try again.
Oh.
Can we all change our name to AV names? Avril's parents are probably here in this dungeon somewhere, and that was the only secret that was revealed. No other secrets were revealed by anyone. Nobody asked any weird psychic questions to reveal anything
it
about.
It did seem like something happened, but I don't know.
There was some note passing.
Thomas, thank you.
Thomas, thanks for the 20.
So basically, we have to go talk to. Because we're in heaven and nobody wants to leave heaven, so we have to find the keys to hell, and there's a different group of people.
Hopefully.
So we have to go murder some people in heaven so we can go to hell.
What?
I mean, that makes sense.
Murder?
That makes pretty. Yeah.
We'll see about
You know,
that.
he said that they are that they don't believe in the same religion that they do, and they also eat flesh.
They aggro, basically.
Yeah,
When we
they-
start walking through their land, they're going to aggro us.
Yeah. So we got to murder people till we go to hell. Then murder stuff in hell, and then murder our way out of hell.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Well, we have to murder our way into Earth, then into Hell 2, and then Hell 3. And then
Whoa!
probably murder our way
There's
back.
3 levels of hell.
Shit makes sense.
Thank you so
Jeez,
much.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you for the
young.
6.
Awesome.
Oh.
Very good. Blep is resubbing, and DJ Regular kicked in. So, Bastion Fields gives their reroll to me, of course. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Blep gives their reroll to boop, 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 Eric. Oh, boy.
Thank you very much.
All right. Tier 1 has been unlocked, which is Inspiration.
let's get
Handy.
inspired,
Very
everybody.
good,
Thank you.
very good.
Inspired.
The Lich King.
That's for you. That
seem
is
on
for
par
you.
for
And
me
then
either, but I'll-
I'm just going to take Havana's for myself. Yeah, that works for me.
That seems fair.
Seems fair. That's pretty awesome.
That seems
James
fair.
V!
Whoa! Oh no! What did you put on that tier?
Well, since Havana's in abstention,
Oh,
there's a little
no.
Havana stretch goal.
She's gonna be real excited.
So,
We speculated how badly she's going to be upset by what Tom does to her when she's gone. We have no idea for sure, but
I decided to shape this the other way. I was going to make it like, how big of a dick can we be to her character since she's out for the night, but I decided to put an incentive out there for chat. how nice they can be to her since she's gone. Because we don't want to come back to an angry Havana next week, do we? No, we don't. Awesome.
I mean, it's better now that I don't sit next to her and it just garage.
Punching. Megan, can you pass me the bumps bowl, please? Yes. Because we have some bumps to distribute.
Bump time.
Awesome. Tempting fate has been partaking of the coins as well.
How dare they?
Coinage. So what I have so far is 3 bumps each.
That's it.
So that's happening. There's 3 for you.
Thank you.
Very good. So that's what I know so far. All right. And Dom, I assume, will fill in the rest of the magic as we head into the evening. Is everything out? Boulder Parchment Shears is in for $5 as well.
That's fine.
Is it easier if I just pull up the sheet and look?
Probably.
Really? All right. Okay. Because I think you have some more bumps coming to you. So let me look that up.
Yeah, they just unlocked tier 10. So
sure.
What?
I didn't label them as anything cool.
What's happening?
This. All right. So this is not the right.
That sounds like insanity laughter.
That's not the right. Open app again. Is this the rewards list? This says rewards list, but I could be wrong. Oh, well, yeah, it's the rewards list for a completely different show.
Oh, what?
It's got tabs.
Yeah, it's got tabs at the bottom.
Tabs.
Oh,
You've been doing this a long time. You should
Although it's not at the bottom. It's
I don't use
else.
my phone for this is the problem. There it is. Now it's coming up. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so everyone's getting 1 additional bump. So that's
fancy. Oh, okay, you don't get it.
You don't get it. You couldn't
knocked
catch
it away.
doesn't
How
happen.
spent it
rude.
already, apparently.
So that's cool.
I hate that.
Everyone gets. Well, let's just cut to the chase here. Everyone gets 4 more bumps.
Whoa! I'm doubling
So
my
there's
I
bumps.
feel real bumpy.
4.
Yeah. Except why did he laugh? Why did he laugh?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
Just preparing a very good and hearty session for us. Oh no, he laughed more when I
He's
said that.
thinking about a funny video he saw on YouTube about a puppy.
I saw a video on YouTube. You know, I did see before I left. Lindsay's phone started making this really weird noise. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, they just introduced a little baby orphan elephant at the San Diego Zoo, and all of the other elephants are coming over to meet the elephant.
Adorable.
It was completely adorable. Yes. All right. So bad news, everybody, for me.
Oh.
I need everybody to roll a d4.
Oh my.
This
That was quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was quick.
Yeah.
3.
4.
2.
So that's 7, right?
Yeah.
1, 2,
You have
3.
8.
So
You got a 1?
I get to keep.
I got 3.
I got 4.
That's 9.
Yeah.
Way to cheat us out of that.
4,
Did you roll for
6,
advantage?
8. All right. So
2, 3, 4.
Three.
That's 5, right?
3 each.
Oh. Oh, we get
we
these.
You
get
get them. They go from me to you. That's the
Nice.
way it works. I'm going to pull
Bump
one out of the kitty
everything.
for you just because I'm nice. So, all right. So, and a couple other things are also happening, right? So it should have been a total of 4, and 4 is 8 bumps. Yes.
So many things.
All right, very good. Got the rerolls are cleared out, and that's the deal. So let me write down the other items that have been unlocked.
Okay.
That's new. He's never done that before.
Well, this way Dom can clear the hole.
He's never written anything down ever.
Yeah.
I was
This
pretty
is
sure he didn't know how to write.
I-
Shimmickson!
After all this time.
Holy crap! What the
Thank
what?
you, Shimmickson.
Oh my god!
Shimmickson, that's not
People
it.
really like Havana and want her not to be angry. It's fair. She's a great person.
That's true.
She gets very angry.
What does it say on there?
I don't know.
No, we're not going to murder her? Like, what did we promise to not do? Or do?
We will stop
All right.
holding her hostage.
So
if-
those things are happening. All right. I think you can clear everything that I have on my screen, Mr. Dom Zook. Thank you very much. All right. I still have my reroll.
Nice.
I may not have my dignity, but I do have my reroll. Okay. So you have just had this audience with
King Mudbutt.
King Mudbutt, Chief Mudbutt, whoever this leader of these Vegapygmies is. Okay.
So many giggles.
All right.
So many giggles.
Very good. Oh dear. So you've just had this meeting, and you have sort of been instructed, as Eric so rightfully pointed out here, that there's this other tribe of Vegapygmies who apparently worship, have taken up the Forsaken Ways, whatever that means, and they have a taste for flesh, and da-da-da-da, and you have, through sort of no fault of your own, delved fairly deep into this labyrinth, right? And Avril kind of like, as you're getting ready to depart, like, let's go get these guys and find out what's going on, and she's like, I really want to study my book. I feel like there's so many things that we don't understand, that me just not being at the full capacity that I know I could be, I just want to sit down and just study it hardcore for just like 20 hours just right in a row.
It's not really an opportune time.
Doesn't seem real safe here.
Well, the plant people, they seem safe, right?
I mean, we not sort of, I guess. It didn't attack us, but
They keep putting powder all over us.
I mean, I don't like them, but they're not hostile. Do you think we could ask them for like some sort of shelter, or maybe they could point us to a place that's sort of safe where I could just... I couldn't read it on the ship because it was invisible, and now that... What's the hurry?
Maybe stick your hand back in that mud and see if you can ask that guy.
I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll try and ask him without sticking my hand in the mud.
That's a good idea.
Okay. All right. So you're just going to talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm curious how you're gonna approach this.
You know that doppelganger thing that I said I would never use?
Uh-huh.
Since we did have sort of a psychic connection, is it possible I could... I guess, no, I mean, because...
here, thank you.
I'm not sure,
Thank
I
you,
don't fully
Lancia.
understand, like, what... Does it give me the ability to sort of understand his, like, I know I can, it's some minor mind reading, but I don't know if that would help me to understand his language.
Are you asking as the player, or are you asking as the character?
As the character.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never done this before, both as a doppelganger. I've never really used this.
Okay. So you have that question yourself. There's really no way to answer it other than to try it, right? That's up to you.
Yep.
All right. So before you head out, you turn around and kind of go back to have the meeting, or to return to the meeting, and they let you in.
I'm still a little high, so not the best judgment.
Oh yeah, there was the spores or
even in
whatever.
real life, I was like, this is a weird time to mention that.
The dusting of...
Well, did you see all that weed I brought in?
Oh, right.
Weed is legal now in California, so...
It's true. Certain amounts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to, I guess, try and unblock that part of my mind and see if I can't just sort of grasp since I already have sort of a psychic connection, see if I can't like grasp the language that they speak, because I have heard it now spoken, and I understand how this person's mind works somewhat, so I'm going to see if I can't just sort of, I guess, piece together some words that essentially asking if Avril is safe to stay here for the next day, or
Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's some sort of check that's involved in this.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm guessing it's probably like, I don't know. What do you think it is? I'm curious to hear what you think it is, because to me it's more to start off with just like some sort of probably like I think it's a wisdom check.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right? Wisdom.
Just to bring yourself to the point where you can actually use this power. Yeah,
I'll do that. Wisdom check.
All right, I'm going to say. The DC is going to be 7 plus whatever I roll on these dice.
Okay.
I only rolled a 4. It's DC 11. It shouldn't be difficult.
All right. I'm still going to use my inspiration.
Well, guess what? You get it right back thanks to chat.
Oh, wow.
Everybody has double inspiration.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, chat.
All right. So that's just a straight 12. Let's see. So I rolled a 12.
Okay. All right. What is your wisdom?
If it were a save, it would be +4, but just straight wisdom is 0.
0. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. So you access this part of yourself that you have very diligently locked away. In fact, we should almost like have like some sort of like flashback to Master Tommen at this point where he's like drilling into you.
I imagine like I go back to like him, because I imagine he knew what I was.
Oh, you think he knows?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know that he necessarily knows, but I'm sure that he gave you some sort of like focusing exercise that you maybe then cleverly adapted to like, oh, I can use this to like hide my power, my true nature, which completely subverts, you know, Master Tommen's training.
Yeah,
she's trying to teach you to be as honest as possible. So you focus on this, and you manage to have a raging moral debate. There's literally 2 minutes of silence as you're like, what is he doing? And then you see just like a little blue ripple in his forehead. You almost think maybe it's a blood vessel, but it's very pronounced and it pulses just a little bit.
Does he normally do that?
No, Grayson, are you all right? You're making strange faces.
Sorry. It's weird. We were the root thing. It's like it links your mind together for a moment. That's what all of these creatures do. They link themselves in sort of a hive mind. So it's strange remembering things from that.
Oh, you can see it on your face.
Yeah.
That didn't happen before, though.
Well, because I'm trying to. Because I spoke with him. I'm trying to like access that sort of hive knowledge to see if I can't talk to him without, getting stabbed in the hand again.
All right, yeah, sure, if you can do that.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So you're basically bluffing them that you're not using your power.
Yeah.
All right, so give me a charisma check for deception. I think you guys get wisdom insight checks to see if you buy this story that he's telling.
Natural 20.
Oh! I got 22.
Oh!
Okay.
But what's your bonus, though?
My bonus?
On charisma.
Charisma is that, and save?
No, it's just a regular charisma check.
Yeah, then it's 22.
Unless you have ranks in...
It's a tie. Which, I mean...
Yeah, well, if it's a tie, then she knows, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for the 10.
She knows I'm being not truthful.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like it would work that way.
I mean, I don't understand how any of this works. I mean, we've dealt with Tack for years, and she had abilities that I can't...
I mean, dealt with Tack is a silly way of saying it. I mean,
no, I didn't mean it like that, I'm saying that...
Sorry, Avril, she rubs off on me.
Yeah, Tack had abilities such as this, ways of influencing or reading minds, and it's not something I fully understand.
Right, but Tack was a mage of the mind. You're just I don't think paladins could.
No, I'm not saying I'm not like connecting them with him right now. I'm just like seeing if I couldn't like access it, like whatever. It's weird when you're connected to the it's I can't even. It's hard to describe what the connection is.
I don't know. It all seems kind of strange, but
It's so strange.
if you say so.
Yeah, no harm in trying. Unless your head explodes, don't do that.
I don't think my head's gonna explode.
Okay.
But I think I know enough of their language to ask if Avril can stay.
Is that a Torm thing you learn really fast?
No, I think it's just that that hive mind thing.
Okay.
All right. So, why don't you give me a? I think this is again a charisma check, just because it is your force of personality. You're drawing on your own personal willpower to kind of like connect with this person or connect with this entity. All right.
Ooh, you got one more.
Wow, getting them out.
So a 3 and a 4 is what you've rolled so far. Time to bump it. Okay.
Bump it. Okay, you got it. 5.
Wow, 3.5.
10.
There you go.
10 total. Now, I mean, to be fair, like it wasn't. You might have completely failed, but this is more of a test of how rich of a connection you get, right?
Yeah.
So you reach out and you can very clearly like read a sense of curiosity from this creature. Like they're back. Basically, the thought process is going through is like they're back. What do they want? They seemed satisfied. What is he going to ask me?
I'll try in a very broken version of that language. Just ask if our companion can seek shelter here for a day while we go to the other tribe.
It's like, so it considers this. I want another charisma check, or I will give you an intelligence check. Your choice, because you're trying to communicate this.
Okay.
And I think those are the two most appropriate areas of,
Charismatic. I've been relying more on my charisma. Am I trying to persuade in a way?
I don't know that I can give you a persuasion check because you're using this
Just
weird.
straight.
You can either do a straight roll or you can do persuasion with disadvantage.
I'll just try a straight roll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a 14.
14. Okay. So you managed to get your message conveyed to him, like we're looking for a safe place.
Got it. Avril.
And it sort of considers you and says, the thoughts that cross its mind are, why doesn't he join the melding? And he puts his hand back in the mud and begins to kind of stir it around. And he says, his other thought is, it could be so much easier.
Thank you.
Thank you for the 15.
We do not see you as an enemy yet. Your intentions seem curious. Your dress seems curious, but you have behaved nobly, peacefully. And then he puts his gnarled root hand again over the kind of the pool of bubbling mud in front of him, and you see him draw the outline, the figure of all four of you, and then he kind of like puts a circle around you, and you see like the little veggie-pygmy figures, and they actually spring up as little like gnarled roots and like bits of floating algae and stuff like that. It all kind of colored comes to life, and they seem to almost be like circling you and embracing you.
That's nice.
Yeah, I get the sense, it's hard with the language barrier, but I think as long as we are cool, they're cool with us.
All right.
Oh,
I don't know
right.
how he's doing that.
Yeah. Grayson works in mysterious ways.
I guess so. Well, that's good. Then we can go, and Avril can stay here, and we'll come back. Just don't stick your hand in the mud. It hurts, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, it hurts. I would avoid it, honestly.
So, so he sort of like considers the four of you for a moment, and then he makes again this like they speak this strange rasping and clattering kind of language, right? And he says something, and the larger blue-shouldered, you know, I remember one of the veggie pygmies was kind of like bigger and had like blue splotches on his shoulder and on his forehead and whatnot. He comes in, and they just sort of like, you know, have a moment where they seem to be kind of like communicating through the meld somehow. Not somehow, but very clearly like through their mutual meld. And then the big blue guy is kind of like, Rata.
I think he wants us to
Yep.
follow, so we'll do that.
So he takes you, you know. So you're walking through this corridor. That's the ceiling is dripping with a steady, constant kind of like platter of rain, and you go down the hallway. The place is suffused with like a light yellow glow. Right? It's not super bright here, but there seems to be maybe some sort of like glowing panels in the ceiling that bring a fairly pleasant but muted orangey kind of like color to the sheen to the whole place. And he takes you through a short series of twists and turns, and you are passing various members of the veggie pygmy tribe. And he brings you to the end of a hallway, and you can tell that you're from your voyages, kind of like following them in, and then kind of meeting with the chief, and then with the way that you've gone now. It feels like you're in. If this is like if this circle is the hub of the veggie pygmies territory that you've been in so far, you're sort of like on the edge, but somewhat. Encircled by it.
Thanks for the
right?
5.
So you're at what feels like a dead end to you, where if somebody were to approach you or whatever, they would have to go through all the other veggie pygmies first, right? So it's like you feel like you're on the edge of their territory, but still very much like at the end of a long gauntlet of them, right? And there's a large door here. It's 5 feet wide, 10, 12 feet tall. And the door has it's strange because it looks like maybe it slides into the wall, but it's crooked. It's hanging at an angle. And inside this area, beyond, you see. Place is probably 30 feet wide, maybe 50 feet deep. It's a fairly large room. Once again, you know, it's about the same size as the chieftain's area. But this place is buried in about 3 feet of dirt, but there's no mud here, right? And this place is suffused with a much stronger yellow glow. It's almost like, actually, it's like a bluish purple glow. The lighting panels here are somehow tuned to a different frequency, and you could tell that there's maybe were furnishings in this room, and maybe still there are furnishings in this room. You're not quite sure what the function of it was, but the whole place is buried 3 feet deep in dirt. So the door is kind of off to one side, and you can tell that there's this shelf of dirt that kind of spills over, forms like a little trail that goes in. And throughout the area, there are little kind of shrubs and knotted roots and bushes all over the place. And there are 2 veggie pygmies that seem to be sort of like tending the doorway to this place, and Blue Shoulders, whoever this guy is, says some stuff to them, and they kind of look at you and then they have some questions for him, and he has a few words with them, and then he, gestures inside, and he walks in, and he's like,
This looks fine.
Yeah.
This'll do.
I think.
Kriba Pranash.
I think he's saying they don't have the melding, whatever it is. Can't do it here, maybe.
It's probably for the best.
Are you trying to read his thoughts, or are you just guessing?
I'm just guessing.
Okay.
All right. I mean, thank you. Thank you.
Kriba Pranash.
We don't like worms.
No, yeah, we're not fans of those, I think.
I mean, worms are fine. They're creatures, but they're wiggly.
Let's see if he. Yeah, he knows that you're not getting what he's saying, right? And he says, Kriba.
Fire?
Kriba.
Smoke.
Kriba. Pusna?
I take out a torch and light it.
Like, as soon as you start to like spark the thing, he's like,
I'm sorry.
No fire here.
No fire. No.
Kriba Pranash.
Oh, no fire is what that means, apparently.
Yeah.
You can maybe put some signs up or something.
Yeah.
But all right. No fire. No fire. Avril, no fire. Hope you can read the book in complete darkness. I mean, there's some light here, so you're fine.
Oh, she's got goggles.
Yeah, she
right.
flips down her night vision goggles. And she's like, don't you remember? That's the only reason I have these. Well, that and to look cute.
Yeah, that's right. They do look good.
All right. Like, with that in mind, he, like, once you get to that understanding, he's like, kind of gives a bow and a little grunt and walks away.
So we're gonna go try and meet these other people and come back?
Well, I feel like we should talk about that for just a moment. We agreed to go on an expedition to find an immortal fire of the gods. And, we came and we looked, and then they said, you have to go to hell. Several levels of hell. I don't know if that's what we originally agreed to.
Well, we have to go.
What?
We have to get the gods' fire.
I mean, what?
Yeah, we'll go.
We don't have.
Yeah, we have to.
We don't have
We
to
have
do
to.
any.
I mean,
For Zarshala.
I mean, we don't have to, but we're
No,
going.
we have to. Thank you for the sub.
No, I mean, I'm saying, like, we could not, but we are.
Yeah.
Are you saying that because of her, or because of something else?
No, I'm going.
Well, I know, but why do you want to get it?
Because it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do to get an immortal piece of flame for
Before
a
Xanathar
crime
does.
boss?
Oh, no, we don't give it to him.
Yeah, we're not going to give it to Xanathar.
He's evil.
Well, of course he's evil, but don't you think he's planned for this?
You think he planned for this?
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's smarter than he puts out.
But he's not smarter than Barshala.
All right. But we're going to hell?
I mean, their version of it. They call this heaven.
I suppose that's true, and can't have fire in heaven.
Apparently not.
Can I make some sort of nature check to see why? If there's any reason I could figure out
Yes,
why?
absolutely. You can make a
Okay.
nature check to see why.
Oh, I'm pretty decent at it. Nope, not that decent. That's an 8.
This nature is real confusing in here.
What is this?
What is this nature?
Dirt?
Hold on, I can't see it. Let me light a torch.
I mean, it's not super dark in here because the purple light is shining down on you, right? And actually, like, it's brighter than maybe it was out in the hallways and whatnot. 8 is not great, but one thing that strikes you is that you can very clearly tell that this room must be planted for some type of crop, right?
Oh.
Because as you look around at these little bundles of root that are popping up out of the ground and stuff like that, they're very clearly like planted in like rows.
Okay.
And as you get towards to the front, looks like maybe more mature plants in the front, and then as you go back, it looks like those plants are younger and more recently planted, right?
I see.
So
right.
There's some sort of method to their madness in terms of like whatever they've planted here, right?
All right. All right, if we're all on the same page, I suppose we'll just come back for Avril in a little bit.
Well, we can at least figure out these flesh-eating things and then come back.
Sure. Yeah.
They sound evil.
Why don't y'all just do like a scouting mission?
Fair enough.
That is what that is, right?
It seems odd to do a scouting mission without our scout.
I mean, you used to be our town scout.
Well, sure, but
Scout.
I was more of a hunter than a
We go hunt evil, flesh-eating creatures.
Well, we shouldn't have the aim of killing them as soon as we meet them.
They're evil.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, well, but if they are, then we kill them.
Oh,
so we find out if they're evil.
Yeah, we snuff out all evil.
Yeah.
How do we know that these things aren't evil?
I would know.
He would know.
You would know.
You would know.
Yeah.
How would you know?
I can sense it.
You can sense evil?
Yeah.
That's a Torm thing?
Yeah.
I thought you were making
That's
that
neat.
up when you ever said that.
No. I can feel if there's evil or demonic presence or undeath. I feel it.
I wonder if you'll feel a lot of that in hell.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
All right, well, even if they do just sense as evil, let's not go on a
How do you
murdering...
think I knew about your dad?
Your dad is evil?
No,
Dad's not evil.
he's not.
Oh, then what did you know?
His dad was undead.
Why is your dad undead?
because he died.
Oh, I'm sorry. That doesn't sound like fun.
But he's,
He's getting better.
Undead. You can get better from being undead?
sometimes.
yeah.
Sometimes you can. Sometimes
Hopefully.
you make...
We'll see.
Sometimes you make a combination of right decisions and wrong decisions that bring your father back to life. And
Sometimes
maybe...
you make impulsive decisions that hurt the ones you love without knowing it.
Oh.
Are you still mad about that tattoo?
No, this
Tattoo?
Tattoo.
I have it too.
She loves it.
It's not about
Look
the
at the
tattoo.
little dragon. The
What are you mad
water.
about?
No, I'm just. You don't make deals with those kind of entities.
I was doing it to save Tech's sister.
No, that's not what you wished for. That's not what you wished for.
No, it's not. I was being selfish. And I
You wish
admitted
for
it.
secrets, and you keep secrets. There's so many secrets. It's fun.
I wished for my father. A dark and malevolent force asked me for anything, and I said I wished my father was alive. It took a piece of my blood.
And led you down a very dark path.
Yeah, and now I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, but now you've shared your secret, but you haven't shared your secret.
I told you I'm a doppelganger.
Oh, that's true. You did say that. So everybody shared secrets. I don't think I have any secrets. I should find some secrets.
I
fine.
think you have
Secrets
plenty
are
of secrets you haven't told us.
I do?
They're not great.
Oh, it's not secrets. You guys seem to have fun with it.
It's not.
There shouldn't be secrets between us.
Well, that makes sense.
Y'all, I'm just gonna try and read my book.
All right.
So
yeah.
you're welcome to like stay here and take a rest and shit. Like, there's no hurry if you want to just relax. But if you're just gonna bicker the whole time, then shut your yaps and get going. Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
Was that pretty good, Amanda?
Pretty good. All right. All right, let's...
Should we rest? Do we want to rest?
I don't need to rest, but
I kind of do, actually.
Okay.
You got hammered pretty hard by
I did. Just a short rest will probably be fine.
Okay.
Short rest.
I'm going to roll
Take an hour and do a short rest.
couple of hit die, yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to do any healing or anything?
no, I got healed by the magical pollen.
The mind control
That's
power.
right. You got 10 hit points.
One,
No, I didn't. She got 10 hit
Oh,
points.
you got healed.
I got healed
9.
because I just stick my hand in the melding twice. So I was like, that's all we need to know. No,
15.
ask him more questions.
I'll do one more.
Awesome. All right. So
54.
while he's doing a little bookkeeping, I do want to thank everyone who has been so generous in chat here. All of our goals for this evening have been unlocked.
Whoa!
Not what I
you.
expected,
Awesome.
but it is much, much appreciated. And every contribution that you make helps us keep the lights on and the cameras running. And
Another
the internet
$40, and we put Harold on right there. Next to,
Harold plays along. We'll get a dedicated Harold cam, and we'll hook up the snore mic so you can all hear how adorable the little pug is.
Yeah, dumb.
Okay, so he's healing up. Is there anything that you two, either of you, want to do while this short rest is going on?
I mean, I was looking at my natural recovery. For short rest, I get some spell slots back.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Score. I wish I could do that.
Well, and one of the boons, you got that boon at the end of the last season arc that you could turn one spell into.
Oh, right.
I think either a
Modern
Thank you, Modern Chow.
bonus
Chow,
action. We should
hey.
have
Thanks for the
both
sub.
Richard Tatas
Richard Tatas.
and Modern Chow both have rerolls coming into the game here.
Wild shape. Where are you? But yeah, we don't have to wait on me to
Okay.
find that.
Is there anything in particular that Grayson wants to do while this is happening?
Are those guards still there?
They're actually yeah, they seem to just sort of like, it's weird because they're kind of just like nervously watching you, like, what are you gonna do? And give me either perception or insight, either one.
Both equally terrible. No, actually, insight's not bad. Perception or insight. I'll get insight because that's my good stat. 18.
18. Yeah. So you can tell that they seem to be watching, like, as you set up camp, and whenever you get close to like any of the plants or you kind of like fuss with the dirt, there's very clearly one of them is much more OCD about it than the other. Like you kind of like move, kick some dirt around, you spread your bedroll out and all that kind of stuff, and one of them's like you can tell that they're getting that one of them is getting not necessarily agitated, but like or upset, but certainly concerned. And the other one is kind of deferring to that one, like kind of like watching you and watching them, and seems to maybe be the subordinate one, but does not have the same kind of expressions of concern.
Okay. Well, I am going to use read thought.
All right.
Just kind of probe his mind for a second. Now that I've opened this Pandora's box, doppelganger abilities.
Which one? You're going to read the one who's agitated?
Yeah, just the agitated one. Just.
Yeah, and the surface thoughts that you get, it's somewhat surprising. It's this combination of like, I will have to water that podling extra when the fleshies have left. We'll have to bring in a whole new fresh bank of soil and refertilize the entire group of younglings.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, what?
Huh?
You said okay.
Did I?
Yeah.
Are you all right, Grayson?
Yeah. I guess I'm just tired. I guess I could have take a break. That.
Okay.
I mean that plant thing messes with your head.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for taking the hit on that for
No
us.
problem.
It's
No
kind
problem.
of you. I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready too.
Okay.
All right, very good. So as we set sail here, Modern Chow gives their reroll to moi.
Thanks, Modern Chow.
Chow.
And Richard Tatas gives their reroll to Thon.
Thank you, Richard Tatas.
Fancy.
Very good.
Fancy.
All right.
You guys gotta give them to me because you know I'm gonna use them because I'm lying a lot more now.
That's a choice you made. I'm going to have to question your paladin status here shortly. There's a lot of deceit going on. Noted. All right.
I'll redeem myself.
I'm curious what your marching order and approach and strategy is to...
Well, do we know where we're going?
Place, right?
Do we know how to get to where we're going?
So you have an idea of, from where you...
Basically, they're on
where
one
you
side.
are, there was a direction that was pointed.
Yeah, he pointed us basically.
And you could probably go in that direction.
Okay, yeah.
The place, it is described as labyrinthine because it is huge. The passageways don't necessarily twist and turn a lot, but they are overgrown with a lot of weird plant life and things like that, right?
Okay.
So I'm just curious what you have an idea of what direction you want to go.
Okay.
I'm curious how you are going to set forth on your journey, any sort of precautions or whatnot that you're going to take.
I have an idea.
Oh.
So Dawnraiser, while I'm holding it, lets me sense the presence of creatures. So if I scout just a little further ahead, I could point out anything living that's not undead or a construct.
Oh, that could be good. Can you sense undead?
I can.
Can you sense constructs?
I cannot.
No. So we have to be wary of those constructs.
Just constructs then.
Okay.
But I feel like that encapsulates most of the spectrum of things we'll run into. Maybe, I don't know, but it's a start.
I mean, in this place, who knows?
Maybe there's something else. That's kind of interesting.
It is a little exciting.
Uh-huh.
I don't think anyone's been here and left besides Warwind, I think.
Well, we don't know that for sure. Someone had to get out if they made that map. I mean, it could have been Warwind, but it seems like if he wanted to get out, he wouldn't have made a map to get back here. Who knows?
Huh. We should figure that out. Do we have the map?
No. I'm sure Avril could draft us a copy.
The map only got us 2 here.
Right, there was a map of the
Oh,
over.
it's not a map of in here.
Oh, no. That's a
Okay,
new
right,
map. We'll
right,
have to
right.
start now.
Right. We should maybe start that. Will we be able to get back here?
I think we'll be able to find our way back.
He can find our way back.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't let us get lost.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go with that. I'll march like 30 feet ahead,
All right.
holding Dawnraiser, which lets me sense the presence of tiny or larger creatures within 60 feet.
Okay.
Thank you.
BK Han chipping in for $5. Appreciate it.
Thank you for
really
the
do.
5.
All right. So you're out front.
Yes.
Set the scene. You're second.
I'll be back.
All right. You're in the back, and you've got Dawnraiser out.
It's not ignited. I'm just holding the hilt.
Okay. All right. And you're kind of drawing on its ability to detect creatures within 60 feet?
Yes, 60 feet. That aren't constructs or undead.
Okay. All right. Noted. Is that a power that it's an active power that you have to concentrate on? Does it require like...
It's while you hold the weapon.
While you hold the weapon, it notifies you.
You are aware of the presence of tiny or larger creatures within 60 feet.
All right. I'm going to, just for the sake of flavor, kind of like say that you have to like kind of like wave it a little bit and some,
It's a dowsing rod.
just kind of maybe not necessarily that much, but you do have to in order to get a sense of if you were to get a hit on a creature.
Does it have to be ignited then, or is it fine as just a hilt? Because then we're just a giant glowing beacon in some place. Not that it's
Is it on
completely dead.
fire when it's ignited?
It's like a radiant sun blade. So it's a great sword of radiant light. So it's just a giant, it's a giant lightsaber essentially.
Yeah. Oh, I should bring my lightsaber for you to use.
No, I don't want to hold that all day.
I don't know. I could rule that either way. Like I could rule that it's not technically a weapon when you're just holding the hilt.
Sure.
But
That's up to you. I'll leave it up to you.
I'm not super fussy about it right now. High or low?
High. Yes.
All right, so you do not have to have it ignited.
Cool. Great.
Which is fine. All right, so you're picking your way through the labyrinth here. Everybody give me... so within probably 20 minutes or so, you leave what you can tell is this Vegapygmy territory, right?
Okay.
And the terrain begins to change a little bit. Why don't you go give me perception checks?
That's pretty crappy.
19.
11.
7.
Okay.
These are scouts.
So...
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm so dazzled by my own sword.
As I've described this before, the hallways are have been overgrown with a lot of like moss and roots and plant life and whatnot, and there's stuff dangling down from the ceiling. You leave the main Vegapygmy territory, and the plant life begins to basically kind of like tail off and go away, and there's like layers of like patches of moss and fungus, scum encrusted the walls and things like that, but you get a clearer idea of what the place looks like. Oh, well look, we have a little view screen, everyone.
2 iPads, Tom. Jeez.
And that's
Showing off.
yeah. One of them is just plastic. It's literally just a $10 piece of plastic.
That's not being very nice to Apple.
Well,
So you. You finally pass one of these doorways that is actually relatively clean. Boy, that's not working. That's not going to work. And it's the first one you've seen that is not covered in like a thick layer of scum and whatnot. And so it's fairly blank, but it does have this strange panel on the side. So there's some sort of slot at the top here. There is a small panel, like a single panel, and then there's another one of those, light up grids. What appears to be dark, that's down below it, right?
this looks like the thing that we ran into before.
Only a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps, we have a key to heaven.
Right. Yeah, I suppose it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I'll try inserting the one purple key that we have into the slot.
Okay. It does slide into the slot. It stops with, about yay much still sticking out. The little indicator here kind of flashes like alternating gray and black. And then you hear like a buzzing noise is like, nothing happens.
All right.
Did it work? It
Don't-
didn't seem to work.
I don't think so. No.
Push on the door.
Maybe you should cut this door.
I can.
I'm not against it.
Alright. Shatter spike. Shatter spike.
Let's just destroy everything.
Alright.
Cut a hole into hell.
Alright. First hit is going
Nobody
to
said we couldn't.
be...
Can't.
Oh, okay. Well, Dom said we can't, so
I guess we can.
I guess we can't.
15 damage on the first hit.
15 damage. All right. Yeah. So you slash into the door. This door does not seem to be as heavily reinforced or as thick as the first door that when you tried to, the elevator door, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it. And so 15 points of damage is like a solid blow. The material does crack in kind of a weird, almost like ice breaking, right? Like a very, like if it was a very cold block of ice, you'd like it cracks in that respect. You feel like a couple more solid hits would probably give you enough purchase to either be able to move it or pull it apart.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like it worked, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on smacking. That's a 7 damage.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna make you keep rolling for damage. You know, just roll a 6-sider so I can figure out how many rounds it's gonna take you to do this.
6.
Okay. So it does take you a while to smash this door apart. It cracks in some unusual ways that you don't expect, and the material itself is unusually flexible. Like you get in there normally and just kind of like maybe kick it apart or whatever, but it bends and warps and flexes back and forth.
What is this stuff?
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, in a very unusual way. You do end up making a bit more noise than you actually expected to make, just bashing this thing
A bunch
apart.
of fucking cavemen just hit it with bone.
All right, but you come into a room that appears to be about 20 feet wide and maybe about 40 feet long, and it's very clear that this place has not been opened or touched in apparently a long time. And you see a series of strange crates. The majority of them are black. They are festooned with various glass panels, and some of them are sporting unusual handles on the outside of the crates. And they're set in various places around the room. It's not like a you'd expect like if this were some sort of warehouse, they'd all sort of be together, right? Yeah. But it's almost like a series of crates for art installations. So if you're gonna do some sort of sculpture display, right, a sculpture exhibit, you'd put a couple crates here and have them unboxed, and a couple more, like there's space between them, right? You can also see that there are features in this room that very clearly are...
Thank you for the sub.
Thanks for the sub, you can.
Couches. There are some broken chairs. The place is in a strange state of disrepair, but the air here is a little bit stale. Maybe kind of faintly you can smell like warm oil coming from someplace. And the furniture looks like maybe it's been damaged, like the couch type areas, right? There's some tears and burns and scorch marks in the thing, as if intentional harm was maybe done to those things, as opposed to like just regular dilapidation of age where stuff gets old and musty and da-da-da. In fact, there's actually surprisingly little must or otherwise fungus. The other thing that you notice, like once you kind of get this door open and you step into this area, is that even though you don't have Dawnraiser ignited, you can see like a little purple outline of Dawnraiser.
Is that new?
That's definitely new.
Can we all see it?
Yeah, you can all see that. As Thawne puts the hilt in to try and detect if there's any life in here, as he moves where the blade would be toward into the room, the tip of Dawnraiser like kind of is outlined in this purplish kind of like almost like a St. Elmo's fire kind of.
Is that normal?
I've never seen that before. Mm-hmm. Although I haven't had this for very long.
No. Do you hear that snoring noise it's making?
Oh, it just fell asleep. It just does that when it falls asleep.
That's it.
I haven't heard the voice of the goddess Soon in a while. I don't know if that's her trying to tell me something, or maybe it's just this place is doing that to it.
Yeah. I mean, they said that this place, but the way they describe the god spires, it's not like somewhere there's a fire. It's like a force that just moves around and reshapes things and then moves on. So it's not just like there's a room where it is. It's just like this moving force.
It's going to make it harder to find.
I mean, it's going to make it even harder to take anywhere.
Yeah.
There has to be a way, though.
Yeah, he said Warwint had way, like he figured out a way to use it in some way or control it in some way.
Interesting. I'm just going to ignite Dawn Razor.
Okay.
And then just deignite it and just see if it's still there.
Yep, it is still there.
That's weird. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's not doing anything.
Touch it to a crate, like where the blade is.
So are you guys entering the area?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you do that, one thing strikes you is there's maybe like, you see a little bit of kind of this kind of like strange purplish fire kind of dancing off of Grayson. Just a tiny little bit.
Just Grayson?
But Ava is sort of like enwreathed in this like nimbus.
Look!
It's not super bright, but it's definitely like.
And there's
I'm
nothing.
purple!
There's nothing on him.
Why aren't you purple?
This is making a lot more sense
Yeah,
now.
it makes a lot more sense actually, because this is the birthplace of the gods.
Oh, yeah!
You are very closely tied to a god.
Mm-hmm.
I am marginally tied to one, and your sword was ripped out of the heart of Soon herself. So
Right.
Yeah.
I feel it's out of place now. Everybody's a little holy and I'm not.
You should get more holy. You can join us.
It's
I
a
think
good
it's just-
pitch.
I think it's more than that. I think it's having the powers of a god. Yeah, because obviously
that.
you are the avatar of Narshala, and Torm has granted me some minor bit of power from him.
You're the Fist of Torm.
I'm not.
Is that not a saying?
No.
You don't want to be the Fist of Torm?
No.
Why not? That sounds cool.
Because a fist is what you use to attack someone.
But-
Torm is an open hand.
You want to be the Slap of Torm?
No. It's a hand
You want
reaching
to
out to help.
be the High Five of Torm?
Oh, that sounds fun. People like high fives. I've heard they like high fives.
They're nice.
Yeah.
Just High Five?
See? It's fun.
All right. I mean, sure. Yeah, this makes sense now. Our holy objects and people are radiating a little bit, which means maybe we're getting closer to what we seek.
Yeah. Is there anything?
Good thing you didn't bring Black Razor in here.
I mean, technically I did, but
It's Dawn Razor, though.
I know, but
It's totally
that's just a name I gave it. Technically, it's still Black Razor.
True.
I didn't, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not the same sword.
Absolutely
It
not.
was cleansed.
Right.
Is there anything in the crates that we can see? Since they're glass.
All right, so you enter the room. It is very warm in here, right? In this, not just in this room, but in the area that you've entered.
For reals.
It's dry and hot.
Thank you.
You're not sure what the source of that is because you don't see like any sort of like light or fire or anything like that. But this room is decidedly like a very dry heat, and maybe that accounts for the fact that there's no plant life or mold or fungus or whatever going on here. It is a little bit. You're a little bit getting baked a little bit. Well.
Whoa,
baked by the
kinda
atmosphere.
we're
here.
getting baked in here, man.
Second time today.
I feel so holy now.
So you inspect these various crates. Everybody give me an intelligence check, please.
I went really far.
19.
3.
Also 19.
Oh. Where's my intelligence? 13.
13. All right. So you're gazing at this stuff and you're like, okay, well wait, they're not crates, but I really kind of don't get it, right? And the two of you are looking at these things and you realize that they must be some sort of device. right? Each of them appears to be some sort of like standalone thing that's set into a case of some kind, right? So they are roughly, each of them probably 3 by 3 square, and maybe in some cases 4 by 4 square, and like 8 feet tall or something like that. But they all seem to have faded but bright kind of painting or coloring on them, depicting various scenes. And the most notable thing about these scenes is a lot of them have these tall red-skinned humanoids in them, right? So they have kind of like a deep wine red kind of complexion to them. Like a combination, like maybe it's red, maybe it's kind of purple, right? And they have like long silvery hair. So that's on the outside. You see that sometimes, and sometimes they're holding like a wand or something like that. Sometimes there are strange vehicles that are involved with whatever's going on the outside of these things. But the vast majority of them also have a little orb in the center. They have some sort of that alien script that you've seen before. That's like splashed on here on these things all over the place. And so there's this glass orb in the center, and then usually there's some sort of strange metal handles that are in front of this thing. And you look at them, and as you guys are kind of examining them, you're like, well, these can't be crates because these handles don't. Like, they wouldn't bear weight. You couldn't lift the things with them. It doesn't look like, maybe it's some sort of manipulation to like make a lock out of it or something like that. But so Thon, as you're examining one of these things, like you grab the handle, and all of a sudden the orb kind of like lights up, and there's a giant glass panel that's mounted to the front of this thing, and that goes and like lights up with this strange purplish light.
It's like it's talking to you.
What is this? Well, I've never seen anything like this.
And as you're holding onto the handle, the orb above emits this very narrow but direct beam of light, like right at your face, just kind of like it washes back and forth across your face.
Something's happening.
And you hear this kind of like,
hello?
Anschluss nicht erkannt.
What? Dick?
I didn't catch.
Do you understand with your whatever?
No, I don't think so.
Give me a perception check. Both of you can give me a perception. You're kind of dazzled by this light, so.
Perception 9.
12.
12. The only thing that you can really pull out of this thing, you're not sure what that voice, like the voice clearly came from the crate, you can tell that. You're not sure what it said, but the thing that you do notice is that it sort of seemed to be like hovering over Thon's eyes, right? You kind of like, it would do like a little sweep over one side of his face and then do a little sweep over the other side of his face, and then kind of like the light withdraws back up into the orb, and you heard this voice.
I think it wants your eyes.
It wants my eyes?
I don't know, that's what it was pointing at.
You can't have my eyes. You can't, I need them.
Yeah, then you
Now,
can't take people's eyes.
We can give you money for passage. I don't know. I don't even know where this would take us. Or is there another door in this room that we didn't?
There is a door on the far end, yeah,
Okay.
that appears to be open
Oh, but we don't need.
at the far end of the room.
The door is open. We don't need to pay this thing, or I'm not giving it my eyes.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's just what it seems like it wants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I went for the eyes.
What shape are these crates? Are they in like this shape?
So they vary, right? Most of them do have kind of like a slant to the front, and there's the globe on the top, and they have some sort of handles in front of them, right?
Yeah.
But some of them are laid out horizontally.
Okay.
That looks like you could sit down inside of one. But again, there's the globe up front. And it looks like maybe the glass plate that's mounted on the front kind of like curves and wraps around when you were to sit down inside of this thing. And there's the handles on each of them. Some of them look similar between various crates, and then some of them have decidedly different types of handles on them.
I mean, have we dealt with constructs? Like, I don't know.
I've never seen a construct before. I don't think this is. I mean, I think
This construct?
I don't. It seems mechanical, but it talks. I don't know.
in a language I've never heard of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did it sound like the same language from those muddy guys?
No, not. And you know that actually, like you can
because theirs is like that felt like I don't know, like a humanoid voice, whereas their language is something because they're more plant than humanoid at this point, so that's why their language sounds the way it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their language was definitely a series of like rasps and rattles, and this was very clearly like humanoid language.
Well, there's a door over there, and I don't know what this is, and it doesn't seem like it's going to attack us, so...
Yeah, we shouldn't meddle in these things.
Yeah, I don't trust whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. But if we come back and it's evil, then we can kill it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously. But I feel like I would know if it was evil. I think it just... Whatever its purpose is, I can't possibly understand.
Okay.
Onward?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Onward.
Okay. All right, and just to let you know, since I've neglected to mention it earlier in terms of the list of amazing things that have been unlocked, you also have access to I Know a God. So if you would like to...
This is a good place to have that.
To call
Or a bad
upon,
place.
invoke a deity.
Or a normal place.
You can do that.
Summon Torm. Are these pinball machines?
What are these?
Are we in a server room?
We're in an arcade, aren't we, right now?
This is an arcade.
A weird futuristic arcade.
All right. So you continue to the other end of the room, and that I mentioned that there was sort of that smell of warm oil. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets stronger as you get into the other room.
Maybe that's why they don't want fire in here, because it smells like this whole place would burn.
Well, it didn't smell like that before, though.
That's
No, I
true.
think it was because of the plants that they were growing.
Oh, interesting. That makes sense.
All right. So let me find the description. Such as it is, because the description in these old school modules is literally like a paragraph
Ooh.
of really dense text.
Ooh.
All right, so you enter this room. It feels like you maybe have accidentally entered this room, like this is not the main designated kind of area, right? You walk into this place and you see ahead of you a long row of various largely rectangular metal boxes. There are a series of metal pipes and things like that are connected to some of them, not all of them. There's also a lot of strange, what you would consider like rubber rope connecting several of these things. That seems fairly odd. And that's immediately what you see. Dawnrazor is still glowing. In fact, it seems to like glow even a little bit brighter as you enter this area, and you definitely kind of like flare up in
Sorry.
this strange halo.
It's not on purpose.
You move around sort of to the other side, and you can see that all of these various rectangular boxes on the front, they have doors, or like a door with a handle, or they have various these little light up panels that you've seen before, but maybe in a different configuration. You also, some of them are just like a box that doesn't have any handle on it, just has like a glass front, etc. And there's a long bar in front of these things, like a bar like at a tavern, right? So there's a long counter in front of them, and there's a stack of strange metal plates they're about yay big, rectangular, and they all seem to fit like perfectly together, as if they were like identically engineered to just nest one on top of the other, top of the other. And this is a stack of about 50 of them or so it's a fairly tall stack, and there's also a number of them that are just sort of strewn about the room. But there's another door on the other side, and on the far wall there is a set of large metal doors that have big metal handles that are set into the wall over on that side. These are like doors that you could probably walk into.
What a strange place.
Yeah. So how like wide are these metal plates?
They're about 2.5 feet wide.
I've never seen anything like these. They're serving trays.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
I have no idea what this place is. I mean, they seem like I can't imagine. Would this? I mean, how nice would one of these serving trays that I don't know as serving trays be as like a shield?
That's a great question. I mean, you might be able to use it for a combat or two as a shield.
Oh yeah, it's kind of thin.
You know, it's not heavy duty. It's surprisingly light material, and it seems fairly sturdy. But you know that if it took a couple solid blows, it would probably dent and deform.
Right.
You might be able to fashion a decent shield out of like a dozen of them or something. It depends upon what size shield you want to make. You know, if you had either some tools or a little bit of ingenuity, you'd have to work at it, but you could make a shield out of it.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of work. My shields works fine. I just thought it would be funny to walk around carrying a lunch tray on my arm. Have a tea! I carry the mace of Torm and spatula.
Maybe Gnomish children use these as slides or something. I don't know.
Yeah, metal? Like, why would you waste metal?
It
Just
seems
cut
like
down a tree and make a slide.
Well, it seems like it's plentiful here. So
That's crazy.
no.
I don't see, I don't see the
Sorry.
god's fire in here, I don't think. So I guess
No.
move on.
I don't sense anything, so let's continue moving.
Which door?
It's just the one.
Oh, I thought there was a smaller door.
Oh,
So there's one similar to what you've encountered before with the slot and the little panels and whatnot, and then there are several that are just like have huge handles on them, right?
Well, should we just like look in all of them?
yeah. I mean, maybe try these ones that I don't have to cut through first.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What's behind door number?
So the other thing that I will mention is it looks like there's when you look at the other door. Should have brought this up earlier, but it looks like stuff has been stacked up in front of it, right? So somebody has like pushed like a lot, like knocked over. It looks like there was some sort of rolling cart or something like that that's been knocked over and stacked up. There's a couple what look like chairs and things like that, and then it appears that somebody ripped one of these boxes off of its moorings and like stacked one or two of them there, right?
Seems like someone doesn't want people to go in there.
Or doesn't want
come through there.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to stop something from coming through.
So we should probably go in there.
Yeah. 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 Do we want to try the other doors first?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Okay. Why didn't I use this card? Oh, I did use this card the way I wanted it to. All right. All right, so
It's nice that the arcade's right next to the cafeteria.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you get hungry when you're playing games.
Yeah.
Thoughtful.
so there are 6 of these huge, like steel doors that you open up, and the first 5 you look inside, and there's a number of small containers. I mean, relatively small. I don't know what you want to consider small. Everything here seems to be fairly huge, right? But so there's a number of containers that are inside that appear to be dried out, right? They have some sort of like brown sediment kind of caked inside of them, but the heat that's in this place is so oppressive that they must have just sort of baked inside of these large metal coffins, you know, kind of these upright closets or whatever you want to call it.
So we're running to all the refrigerators expecting it to be doors.
Yeah.
But the last one like has some like gives some resistance when you go to pull on the thing, and you realize that one actually is sort of like still latched closed. The other ones maybe had popped open slightly and they kind of freely swung. But this one, you pull on the latch, and this wave of cold washes over you.
That feels good.
And inside, you see a number of different containers that all appear to be sealed, and they have pictures of, I guess, strange. How strange and exotic would these things be? Just it looks like maybe some sort of fruit. You're not sure what some of these things. You're not sure what types of fruit these things are at all. But it looks like there's various things that have pictures of fruit on them. What's actually in them? Who knows? And there's a number of things that just you can tell by the script that it's trying to sell you something in terms of like. A lot of the script that you have seen in this place is very utilitarian and very like, you know, industrial.
Where these are now,
these
are labels now.
Yeah. It has that same feel as in the previous room where, you know, it's written script and it's got kind of a style and a flourish to it, as opposed to some sort of script that's just printed just so that it can be legible and have no, you know, emotion or a meaning attached to it. By the way, before I get too deep into this, BKon H29 gives their reroll to Megan.
Oh, thank you very much.
So that is coming your way. Yes, thank you for your support and generosity. So, what would you like to do with these things? You know, there's this almost this fog that rolls out over you as this as you open this door.
We don't see, like, it's not that deep. We can see the end of that room.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, this, much like the other ones, I should have described this. There's not a room beyond. It's really more of like a strange plastic. It's a strange closet, right? That's about 4 feet deep.
I don't think there's anything in here either.
No. Unless you want to eat whatever this is, which I don't think we should.
Well, yeah, that might not be the smartest thing. It would be interesting, though.
I might take some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Okay.
I'll take a couple boxes. Not like giant ones, but like individual packages.
All right.
This one says peaches?
Very good. So it's extremely cold. It's, you know, very cold to the touch, but you put it in your backpack or whatever, and away you go.
Okay. So what should I call these?
You can just put, you know, cold carton if you want.
Cold carton.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
That's the scientific term.
Like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's move this rubble and get going.
Okay.
Yeah. Deeper still.
You move that stuff. As you're moving it, you notice that on your side, where this panel is, it's clearly been smashed in and burned out, right? So this piece of it has been very clearly, deliberately destroyed.
Oh, that's not gonna work
by someone.
I don't think.
Have you already been here, Grayson?
No.
Okay. Well, we still have one way to get in.
Yeah, there's no, it's like we push on it or there's no like handle or anything, right? It just looks like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I guess we have to cut our way in.
All right.
Wait.
No?
This time, we did make a lot of noise last time. And I didn't think about it. I'm going to cast silence on the door. La-di-da, I have silence.
That's a good idea.
Very good.
So I'm going to cast that and then go on in, Grayson. No. Okay, come out. Just can't.
I know.
Oh, you're messing with me. Okay.
He does that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Avril's not here, so somebody has to.
All right. Very good. I need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw at this point.
Uh-oh.
Told you not to eat those fruits. You're all at a +1.
Yay!
Dope. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, your weakness.
+5. Wow. I'm gonna re-roll it just because.
Okay.
Be better.
That was worth it.
Better, yeah. 18. What did I say? I did 4. 23.
Okay. All right.
18.
18?
23.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. You feel a little tired, you know, like you don't feel like you've gone that far or, you know, journeyed, you know, the journey's been particularly strenuous, but you do feel just a little kind of like maybe you got a little bit of a headache now, or you're not sure what it is, but you kind of fend off the effects and, you know, like shrug it off and hammer on through and roll a d6. Let me know how many rounds that this takes you.
3.
Yeah. So you're able from this side, you know, for whatever reason, or maybe it's because you kind of understand the structure of these doors a little more clearly. You smash this thing open and in short order. The room beyond is quite large, and there's no stretch of the imagination that has to take place here. This appears to be like the size of and the function of a mess hall, right? So it's a very large area. It has some. There are several long tables that appear to be bolted to or somehow attached to the actual floor, and they're not movable. But there are a number of skeletons that are sort of scattered about this room, bits of skeletons and bones that are strewn about. If there are chairs here, it's very clear that there must have been a lot more chairs at some point, but they're missing. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are here are broken and are smashed into pieces. There's a few bits of rag and junk laying around, but this place has clearly been destroyed and looted.
Seems like there was something bad that happened here.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just go in deeper.
I'm gonna try and inspect like a few skeletons, just looking for anything. Like I'm thinking this is more of a medicine roll. Like anything, like if I see like bones with teeth marks or like a clear sort of like infection that might have grown on, or something like something like overly obvious of how they died.
All right.
Also,
I'll give you advantage on this roll.
Like smashed in skulls or. So that's going to be 15.
15. Yeah. So you very cleverly decide to start comparing the damage that's gone on. Now, you notice two things. First of all, none of the skeletons here seems to be complete. Like sometimes most often you can only find the smaller bits of bone. You can't find like the really big, like a leg bone or, you know, parts of the arms and things like that. It looks like those have been scavenged and whatnot, right? And everything's a little bit jumbled. You can't really find, like, it's very difficult for you to find a complete corpse any place, or a complete skeleton.
So people didn't just like die here and die. Like this is pieces, and if people died, things would take. Okay.
Right.
So there's no like clothes or anything really.
There is curiously like a few bits of like that. Remember that stretchy material that you found, that rag? There's bits. There's larger pieces of that, and you can find, you know, what you would consider like like half a shirt, you know, or part of a set of like pants.
Is there anything in the pockets?
That's a really good question.
Maybe some of them had a key.
Let me take a look. What has it got in its pockets? All right.
Pockets.
Well, you have to give us 3 guesses.
So you find 2 things as you go through. Like you're looking at these. You go through all the scraps of clothing, right? And start like piling up and looking for pants pockets and looting the bodies, kind of thing. It's a great plan. I like it. You find several pieces of jewelry. It looks like there's several of these fine metal bracelets, right? That look like they go around your wrist and they end in 2 kind of copper knobs, right? And you find like 3 of those. They all appear to be like the same make and manufacturer, but they're all slightly different, right? They have a little looks like they have a little pattern of etching on the top that looks like maybe some characters or something like that, but since you don't really understand this language, you're not sure what it is. You could easily see it as like it's some sort of like name bracelet or something like that, or maybe it has some other function. You're not sure what the writing actually means. But the writing is different on the 3 ones. The bracers look exactly the same, but the writing is different on each of them, right? So you find those. You also find a small black disc that's about, yay big around and has a little kind of like cookie cutter, like, ellipse or concave bite taken out of it. Give me an intelligence check.
I'll use one of my inspirations.
All right.
Intelligence. Ooh, that's a 20.
Nat
22.
20. Nice.
Do you realize that this is the exact same shape and exact same size as something that Avril found in Ailerod's tower down in the prison? When you were down in the very bottom of the prison, she found something a lot like this, except that the little cookie cutter part of it had like burnt scorch marks inside of it. It looks like it was maybe like hollowed out inside, right? But this one seems to be one solid piece.
Look, this looks familiar. I think Avril has one.
Yeah, I think that's what. Isn't that what Warwent used to sort of dig his way out?
I think so, although I'm not 100% sure how he did it. But yeah, it was used for some sort of escape.
We should take it. Also, I found these bracelets, and I don't know what they are, but there are 3 of them, and we should each take one in case we come upon somebody, and maybe they are meaningful.
That's
Makes
pretty
sense.
smart, yeah.
I mean, the people who lived here have been dead a very long time.
I mean, in here.
Yeah.
But there could be more.
No, I'm saying anyone who left it here would have come back.
True. Yeah.
If they were alive.
All right. Also, is there something that you want to do while the 2 of them are searching this room? Do you also want to search?
Yeah, I want to go around to like the corners and just continue to hold Dawn Razor to see if it pings anything.
Okay. All right. Very good. Why don't you give me intelligence or perception check, whichever you want to.
Okay, I'll use one of my inspirations on this. Nat 20 and a 19. Whoa, those are really good rolls. So if that was perception, it'd be 22.
Okay, very good. So 2 things. Number 1 is you discover something else in your examination of the cause of death, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't actually get to that piece of it, which is apart from some of the larger bones being missing, you start to get the skulls together, and you notice that every single one of the skulls has a fractured eye socket.
Okay.
But only a fractured eye socket, only one. Like there's none of them that have both eye sockets busted. Sometimes it's the left one, sometimes it's the right one, but they all seem to have a busted eye socket.
And does it look like? Is it look like it was broken and then healed at some point, or like done
You
with
got
intention?
you got a really high medicine check, right? You can tell that the breaks in the bone were made after the creature had died.
Yeah, postmortem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it was that machine, that thing or whatever, and it came and took their eyes.
What? You mean that thing could have just done that if I stood there?
I don't know. It could have.
Yeah, or maybe I don't know, maybe it needs eyes for something. Maybe the machine doesn't take it, but somebody took the eyes for the machine.
For it, yeah.
It needs eyes?
I don't know.
It was looking at your eyes.
I thought this was heaven. We want to go to a place worse than this?
I mean, heaven's kind of weird, I agree.
It's not heaven. It's what they their area is heaven, I guess. Yeah, they all worship King Mudbutt and live in the.
It's a weird thing to do.
Right.
You have no idea how weird it is.
All right, so that brings us around the table. You're going around and you're scanning the remainder of the area. Just to see, like, okay, are we gonna get jumped by anything, or is there anything weird happening here? What else can I find around here? Blah 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 blah. And as you get to one corner, you do see that there's kind of a knot of plant life in this area, right? It looks like all that heat that had been that you've been subjected to before was in those previous 2 rooms, was contained to those rooms. And then in this area now, there is a little bit of a dampness to the air and back to kind of like that atmosphere that you've been used to, like in the Vegapygmy environments, right? Mm-hmm. But you're kind of looking at this, clump of plants, and maybe there's some fabric mixed in there, and a piece of broken chair that's leaned over to one side in the corner. And you just kind of look and kind of kick the chair with your toe, and it falls to the side, and the fabric gives way, and underneath there is a metal orb that sprouts 6 metal legs, right? And all of a sudden the orb lights up, and you see what looks like a single red eye, like, look directly at you, and all of a sudden it jumps towards you. So let's roll for initiative.
Whoa!
Oh, that's not good for you guys. All right, so 20 above. Anyone?
No.
No? All right. No. 20, 19, 18?
I got an 18.
Well, it's on 19, because I rolled an 18, and it's got a +1 dex.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it springs at you, and
My only weakness. Constructs.
Yeah. I thought you were
Little
supposed to
metal
construct. You're supposed to see those coming, right?
No.
That was
those are
the
ones I
one
don't see
thing.
coming.
Okay.
Undead and constructs are the one thing, or the 2 things I don't see coming.
all right.
Assuming that is what this
An
is.
undead construct.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're invisible.
It appears to be some sort of construct.
I mean, those are the only things I can't sleep.
All right. So
Keep talking though, you'll make them sleep.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Wow.
Maybe I should have asked Harold.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Woke up.
You woke him up, you doofus.
He's back to sleep.
Yeah, that was real fast.
All right. So unfortunately, I'm going to guess an 11 misses you.
Yeah,
So
15 AC.
it doesn't actually spring at you directly. It springs up and over you, and you see that it starts trailing this long, flexible wire behind it that's barbed. Right, so
What?
this length of barbed wire like
spider that
reels
shits
out
barbed wire.
from behind it, and it attempts to like drape that over you. And each of the barbs has these strange, little hooks in them. But you dodge out of the way, and it hits the ground about 5 feet away from you, and then retracts that wire into itself and begins like scuttling around. So that's its. Yeah, its turn was a little bit garbage, but that's what happens. All right, so that was the monster on 19. You're next.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna jump at that and then turn around, ignite Dawn Razor, and give it a swing if it's in melee range still.
It is definitely
You
still in
ignite Dawn Racer,
melee.
you die immediately.
Oh no!
Boom! Kablooey!
There was a gas leak.
All right, first attack. 16 plus 7, 23. Is that cool?
That hits.
Cool. I'm going to bump the damage because I got a bunch of bumpies from Chad.
Boom, boom.
Thank you, Chad. So 7 plus 3 plus 4, so that is 14 slashing. Or sorry, radiant damage.
Okay.
14.
14. Very good.
And then second attack. Oh, that's crappier, but we'll see. Does a 16 hit it?
16 does hit it.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I'll just bump this damage by 2. 10 plus 2 is 12 plus 4, so 16 radiant damage.
Okay, so it was 14, it was 16, right?
30 radiant.
30 radiant. So your so Dawn Razor, slices into it, but it does not seem to do as much damage as you would expect.
Interesting.
All right, who's up next? That was on 18. Which one
I have a
of you?
13.
All right.
10.
Very good.
Well, I assume in all of this happening, we hear the noise and see what's going on.
Don't
Even
use
if we're-
radiant.
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to, though.
Oh.
He got a really great perception check, so to spot this thing before it sprung out from the corner.
So how far away from all of that, from them am I?
I tell you what, give me high or low. If you guess what I roll, then you're close enough to take an action without having to move. Otherwise, you're double move away.
Low.
Low. All right, I rolled high, so you're a double move away. So you can either attack at range or take a double move and close.
My
with
range is 120 feet.
Yeah.
So I should be able to reach it with Moonbeam.
You can reach the whole room.
Long bomb, throw it.
Yeah.
I'm open.
From downtown.
So, yeah. I will call down Moonbeam and, I cast it on the little metal ball thing.
Okay.
Does heaven have a moon?
It does now.
The moon just crashes into the cafeteria.
It's a Constitution saving throw of 17.
17.
Oh,
I failed that.
Oh! Okay, so it's going to take 2d10. I don't know which one of those is a 10. Aw. 5 radiant damage.
Okay. All right. Again, it doesn't seem to do as much as you think it should do.
But this is the best spell for
But it
this.
does. That's what it does. All right, Grayson, high or low?
Low.
No. It's high, so you're at
high
least a
again.
double move away.
Okay. Then I will move 30 feet of my movement. Then I will look at my spells, because that changes what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I will... Nobody needs bless. I've never done... It's not a person. I guess I'll double move and get up on it.
Okay, all right, you double move towards it. So it is going to... No, first of all, let's see if it's weird little razor attack. Well... All right, so it's going to try and attack you again with its weird barbed wire razor line.
It's
right?
got disadvantage.
It's got disadvantage? Wow, that's gonna mess. All right, so an 8, does an 8 hit you?
Nah.
All right,
Sorry.
noted. So that's its attack.
I run up and I'm like,
Nice save, bro.
Yeah, so it turns and tries to spring back towards you, and as it does that, you run up behind and kind of like swat it back to the ground, and it very nimbly kind of like spins back over. The two of you can give me perception checks here, just as a byproduct.
13.
13. All right.
Mine's crappier than that.
You feel like you almost hear some sort of like subliminal, like high-pitched pulsing coming from it, but that you're not sure what. In the heat of the moment, you're not sure exactly.
Use your EMP power.
What it is, or.
Oh.
So, Thon, what would you like to do?
A nuke.
Did I notice that I didn't do that much damage with Dawn Rays, or did I probably wouldn't have picked that up, or?
No, you're pretty confident. Like when you hit with Dawn Razor, you know how hard you hit.
Sword's probably broken. He's probably just giving it.
There's something about as the blade, hits it, it doesn't necessarily cut. It kind of like partially washes over this thing.
Oh, interesting.
It sounds broken. You should probably just give it to me.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
Good point.
Oh, what's that? Doesn't work in your hand? Sorry. I'm gonna put it away and use my short sword. Which I only have one of now.
All right.
See if that does more. Yeah, let's try it. That is a 14.
That hits.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't think it would, but it did. Oh wait, no, it's a D6. I'm sorry. That is 8 piercing.
All right, that does a full strike.
Yes. All right, second attack, same weapon. It's 12 plus 6, so it's 18. It's definitely a hit. I'll bump this damage by 2.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 1. 1 plus 3 plus 2 is 6 piercing.
All right. You strike it a solid blow. It kind of reels and whirs a little bit, and then rights itself and turns its scanning eyeball or whatever
One
it is.
tough bug.
Back and forth between the two of you. Ava, you're going to continue your moonbeam attack?
Yes, I'm going to move it over wherever it's gone.
Okay.
At this point.
Give me either an Arcana or a Wisdom check, right? Wisdom is your caster stat?
Let's see. Arcana. Oh, I actually have higher Arcana. No, I'm looking at that wrong. Intelligence. Oh, yeah, actually my Arcana is higher. Well, is that a 7? I'll re-roll it.
Okay.
Why not? Oh, that's a 4. Do I keep my highest, or do I have to go with this one?
You go with the thing you rerolled.
All right. Well, then it is a 9.
Okay, great. So you roll the moonbeam directly over Grayson.
Oh my God! You can't hold your shape anymore. You revert to being a doppelganger. Shape changer makes its saving throw with disadvantage. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and can't assume a different form until it leaves the spell's light. So basically, if you fail, but you are at disadvantage.
Okay, what's the check?
It would be 15.
15.
Wisdom.
Oh, I'm sorry, con.
Oh, con?
Constitution?
Okay.
All right.
Just fail it willingly.
That's so that definitely fails.
All right, so you take damage, and then you revert to your natural.
Oh my God! You max damaged. You rolled 20.
20 radiant damage.
What?
It's so great.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
So I'm like, I got you. But
You're killing him still. Me too. You're killing him. It's not a purpose. Oh no! Avril would be laughing if she was here.
All right, it does make its saving throw and does not take 20 points of damage.
Well, it takes half.
Yes,
It
noted.
takes 10.
Noted. It doesn't
Mostly.
even seem to take 10. Grayson, doppelganger.
Oh my goodness.
You've seen this before, I think, but I don't know that
No, I
you.
haven't.
It's still odd and very sudden.
So his weird, oblong bug head and blue eyes and strange mouthless kind of features present themselves.
Is this normal? Is this because of the damage? The moon?
It's normal for him, I suppose. Maybe sometimes.
all right. I'm gonna beat the crap out of this fucking bug. Very angry right now. That's 19 for the first hit. That's probably a miss. That's 13 for the second.
13 hits.
Okay, so that's 2 hits. 8 damage. And then 12 damage on.
All right.
20 damage total.
20 damage total. You do manage to pound this thing into bits, and legs kind of go flying one way, and then the strange, little light globe thing cracks and shatters and flickers for a moment, then goes out.
If it's dead, I'm just gonna keep hitting it a couple of times.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, are we out of initiative? Or
You were out of combat. Yeah, it's
combat?
no longer attack.
We'll stop Moonbeam and go, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, and cast Cure Wounds. 1d8 plus my spell casting ability.
Grayson, what was that? Why did that happen? Do you know?
You get 8 hit points back.
Thank you.
Yeah, what? I don't know. Is that normal? It wasn't intentional. I was trying to get the thing, and it kept moving, and then it moved past you, and then the moonbeam went right over you, and
Yeah,
it wasn't. I didn't mean to.
I understand. It's not. If anything, it's my fault. I feel like I have to first do math to figure out how much health I have. Thank you for the 8. I mean, whatever the light, the radiant light, it does, it seemed to force me into my actual self, and I feel like this is in part my fault because I have been lying to you a little bit.
I kind of thought that he was, but
Yeah,
I didn't know if that was
Lying.
common.
Well, lying about what? We knew you were a doppelganger.
No, about other. When I did the connection, I told you, it was like, oh, he didn't say anything else. I asked him about doppelgangers, and he told me that he calls them the ghost children.
Ghost children?
What does that mean?
I don't fully know, but there's something to do with the ghost children. Like, I asked him if he knew about the origins, and he said the ghost children are invisible to the eyes of the god, and the people we were going to see have the eyes of the gods, and they use them to. They want to use them to bring the gods back or something. So there's some connection, and I lied to you about that, and then I lied to you again because I didn't use my past knowledge of the connection I had to talk to him. I read his mind because I can do that.
What do you mean you can do that?
I can do that.
You can read minds.
Yeah.
Can you read what I'm thinking right now?
Well, don't let him.
But that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat.
It's not cool. It's horrifying.
It is.
Also
It is,
fun.
and it's something that I suppressed my entire life. I spent a long time doing it. I mean, when I was younger, it was something I couldn't control, and I could just hear, not like everything you thought, but like just the surface level of a lot of emotion, and I just felt that every day, and it was hard, and luckily my training has taught me to suppress it, but I sort of opened myself up to it unintentionally and then leaned into it a bit this past day, and I feel like that this is somewhat punishment for that.
I mean, there's just an accident. I don't think it was.
There are no we're in the birthplace of the gods. There are no accidents here.
That's true.
So the deliberate punishment for Torm knows what I did and has taken the one thing from me he knows I value the most.
Well, however you see it, I don't think you should take it as punishment. I think you should take it as a sign that maybe you should remain this way. This is who you are. You shouldn't hide who you are.
I mean, I feel like I have not been a good human, and I don't deserve to be one.
Oh,
For the moment.
please.
So
that,
I will remain as my true form.
is it
For
for
the moment?
doppelgangers kind of their whole thing that they can change into other things?
Yes.
That's sort of also your true form.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can be whatever you want as long as you're comfortable with who you really are. You're a changer.
I don't want to be a changer.
You can't help that. You are.
I helped it for many years.
Fighting things like that only makes them worse.
Not if you try hard enough.
I think that just makes it harder.
You're just
Well-
putting a mask over it. It's not
Life-
going to make you feel better.
Life is about struggle.
Life is about Torn teach you that?
Yeah.
Oh, not the best teacher. Did you struggle when you were kids with us in Oakhurst? We were friends.
Yeah. You ever wonder why I was so good at hide and seek?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could hear where you were. Like I could sense you. I could sense through a building if I wanted to.
Well, that's all fine and well, but you're using these powers for good now, for the betterment of everybody.
Am I? I used them to lie to you.
Only seemingly twice, 3 times?
And if you weren't afraid of who you were, you wouldn't have to lie to the people around you. Just be who you want to be. Be yourself.
I was being who I want to be.
Well, be who you really should be.
I don't know who that is.
I think you do. I think you do, and I think you're afraid to say it.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
19.
Okay. So this crisis of conscience that you're having, right, makes you sort of like question your identity and who you are, and you bring up this whole thing about, you know, Torm has taken away the one thing that I had, da 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 da, and you pause for a moment, and you realize, like, you kind of check your connection with Torm, and you reach out to him, and there's nothing there.
Okay.
Now, the strange thing is, you still have your paladin abilities and your spells, and it quickly dawns on you, I'm getting fed my divine power, but I'm getting it from someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
Or Torm is somehow silently supplying me with these abilities, but he's not answering me. But you can tell that your connection with Torm has somehow been sundered.
Yeah.
Yeah, the choice is yours. We're not going to force you to do anything you don't want to. I think blue looks good on you.
Mm-hmm. Blue's good color.
I think this is what I'm supposed to be right now.
Well, it seems helpful in this area. People really seem to like that you're a doppelganger. Or some of them, at least.
Can you really read minds?
A little bit, yeah.
What am I thinking right now?
I don't want to know.
But come on.
No.
He can't read minds.
He did something, because we couldn't understand those things, and he sort of seemed to
Also,
understand them.
the place that that Avril is staying, I think they're growing their children.
They're growing their children?
In the
Yeah.
ground?
I think that's why they were so upset. It's not food; it's more of them.
That's why you said okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's look around some more. I don't think there's anything left in this room
There you-
other than wait. What's this? What was this thing, anyways?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Did it look like because when he just drew the eyes of the gods, was this? I mean, this was an eye thing, but it was more of a spider thing. So I was just thinking because they had the tails too, but this was just like a barbed wire thing versus like an actual tail, like an eye.
So when he drew that in the mud, it wasn't necessarily like a photographic rendering.
Yeah.
For one thing, right? but you get the feeling that, like, this thing, although I described it maybe a little too hastily, it was about the size of, this thing was about the size of a football. So fairly, like, large. Whereas you got the impression that the eye that he was talking about was actually roughly eyeball size. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
There are definitely some similarities there.
Okay, yeah.
But the tail that it had on it didn't have like these, as far as you remember, these are like razor barbs or anything like that. It did have like weird roots on it or something.
Yeah, it seems somewhat more like an actual eye.
Did you share with us about the skulls?
No, but I'm putting that together now. The skulls, it seemed as though the eyes were removed. Remember? I mentioned that?
Right.
And the people here were using the eyes of the gods to try and bring the gods back.
Do you think these are god bones? Do gods have bones?
I think they think these are the gods. And they took their eyes, which is weird because it looks like these were taken at some point after death. But only some of them, like only one eye was ever taken from each of these skulls, which leads me to believe that these skulls maybe had decayed, but one eye remained, but not always the same one. Sometimes the left, sometimes the right. So I don't understand what it is they took from these skulls, but maybe it happened after, like maybe it was more recent than... or maybe it was when these first people died, but I believe they took one eye from each of these skulls because they believe these are the eyes of the gods.
Seems eyes are very important in heaven.
Yeah.
That thing earlier was trying to scan my eyes and...
Yeah. And it probably won't see me, I guess. I don't know. Doppelgangers are invisible to the eyes of the gods.
Huh. But who knows what that means if the gods are just these dead bones.
Yeah. If whatever they think these creatures were, at some point they perhaps believed that these were the gods and that they died and that their eyes could be used to bring them back.
Ugh.
I mean,
frustrating.
People come back. I mean, people come back from less. We all remember what's his nuts who has a missing finger that Xanathar just brings him back.
Yeah. His name
Beaudry.
Beaudry.
Yeah, Beaudry is brought back dozens of, if not more times, from a finger. So the idea that a god could be brought back from an eye is not crazy.
That's true. But not Barshala. We need the god's fire for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you feel Barshala?
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
23.
So, you in the normal course of your prayers and things like that, you sort of just get your answers back and forth, and you get your abilities granted to you, and it's not necessarily like Barshala is definitely like a goddess of independence, and free choice and still justice, but she's not necessarily a overbearing goddess, right? So you pray to her, give her some supplication in the morning, and you're imbued with your powers and kind of go about your mission as you see fit. So it's not necessarily the tightest of relationships, right, compared to maybe what Torm has with Grayson, etc. Mm-hmm. But in this case, he asked you this question. You're like, I don't know, and you reach out to connect with her, and the sounds of the ocean fill your ears, and the long kind of sonorous song of the whale like wells up within your heart, and you hear Barshala's voice say, "I am here. I am here, Ava.
Yeah.
You are with me."
Really clearly. It's nice. You guys should hear it.
Okay.
What is she saying?
She says she's here.
Okay.
With me.
I'm going to activate I Know a God.
Which god are you going to
I'm
invoke?
going to summon the avatar of Torm.
Okay.
I can.
You cannot do that.
Okay.
Is there like a
Can
an offshoot of Torm we can get?
or can one of
You
us?
can you can summon a different deity, but Torm
Yeah.
does not come to you right now.
But does it look like he kneels and tries that? And
Yes.
Can you summon Torm?
what?
Why would he?
I don't know.
Grayson, what? Do you not hear Torm's voice?
I don't.
Really?
But she.
Do you hear anybody else's voice?
Not that I know of.
I'll take out Dawnraiser and try to see if I feel the presence of Soon inside of it. So I'll do I know a god, Soon, the goddess of love.
Okay. So Soon's Dawnraiser is still intelligent, right? So there's
Yeah, it's still sentient.
There's a shard of Soon inside Dawnraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Soon, an avatar of Soon does not manifest.
I mean, that's not too surprising. I'm not much of a holy man, but
Yeah,
it was
but
worth a shot.
Well, I mean, so I'm not sure what the in-game, justification would be, but on a metagame level, you should be able to name any god basically and have them manifest. And certainly, you should be able to call upon an avatar of Soon, given your relationship to Soon.
Sure.
On a metagame level, it absolutely should work, but it's not working. In-game, however you want to justify that,
Right.
if you want to play it off as I'm not that tight with her, that's fine. But on a metagame level, it should work and it's not.
that's
Just to be clear.
as an acolyte of Torm, I should be able to reach him. But
Right.
he has not abandoned me, but chosen to punish me, deservingly so.
Could my thing, Moonbeam, have severed something?
No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Torm, if you're out there, can you hear my voice?
Torm speaks through action. You hear Torm when you help others.
See if you can call to Zarshala.
I have no need to call to Zarshala.
But see if she's there.
She.
Since it was my Moonbeam.
I appreciate it. No, I don't need to talk to your goddess.
Just maybe if she is, then that will explain what happened. And maybe she can
I know
help
what happened.
reset out.
I lied. I lied to the people I held closest to me, and kept truths, used powers I swore to Torm I would never use, and he is challenging me.
It's one way to look at it, or maybe it's just a bad signal in here,
No, because
Hold your phone up higher.
I mean, she's literally a walking antenna to the god, so
that's true.
I mean, that's not too surprising. But I've never been able to summon Soon. Not that I've tried, but it doesn't seem like I would be the kind of person she'd answer to. So
You're not. I don't mean to disparage you, but you haven't dedicated your life to a deity like we have.
No.
So I appreciate you're trying to make me feel better, but I know what it feels like when Torm speaks to me through action and not word.
well, I'm sure none of the look. Pelor is another deity that I've heard of. Pelor, can you hear my voice? Please show yourself in a form of an avatar.
Nothing happens.
It's nothing. It's
When
none
have
of them
you
are
ever
listening.
summoned an avatar?
I've never. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that maybe it's not
They're
just
A
you.
God's not going to just show up.
You don't know that. I'm a good person.
True.
Maybe he could try to recruit me.
Maybe you should try to call to Karshala.
Larshala, it's me, Thon, Ava's best friend.
What was?
It was me. It's the noise an arrow makes in my head.
Arrow noise.
I don't shoot arrows very well, so I don't
They're
know.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, they're very strange.
Oh, it's a crossbow.
Yeah, crossbow. Larshala, can you hear my voice? I beseech thee. Have some questions.
I think I hear her. I hear the shores.
And suddenly you hear, of course. State your questions. I will provide.
Do you hear that, or
Can we hear?
And from the room that you just left, right, that you bashed your way out of, you see Ava, but this version of Ava has red skin and long silver hair. She still has the the kind of like fish scale kind of complexion. And her dress is long and golden as opposed to bright blue. But you can tell it's her.
What? Wasn't expecting. Hello. Awful cheery.
How's that working?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, questions. Right.
Have at it. Yes or no?
Yes or no? Easy. Has Grayson's connection to Torm been severed because he was a bad boy?
No.
Ah, there you go. No more moping around now, all right?
I didn't say it was severed. I said that he's deliberately choosing not to speak to me.
Oh, don't make me word this in a weird way.
We could ask something along the lines of, are you the only goddess we can commune with here?
Oh, yeah, pretend I said that.
Yeah.
That's
Huh.
odd.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you're here.
Maybe.
I wasn't too far off, although an antenna isn't a real thing in this world.
Whatever the equivalent of that is.
Is Avril okay?
Yep. Yep.
Took a little time there.
Yep.
All right. Smell you later.
Bye!
See, you're not a bad boy. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It must be something else. I mean, this place is weird. We don't know.
I mean, I understand that we can't directly communicate with most guys, but I know what I'm being punished.
If you were being punished, then would you still be able to cast your paladin abilities?
I think it's a test, like everything he does, to show he didn't take anything from me, but he wants to see if I still make the right choices.
Well, then how do we redeem you?
Through the same way I've always been redeemed.
So you're going to change nothing and hope it goes okay?
No, I'm going to continue to try and be better.
Better than you already are?
He wants me to do this as this.
You! All right. Unless there's anything else in this room, we'll keep on trucking.
No, you've fairly thoroughly explored the place. You go out into what appears to be a long, fairly dark hallway. As I mentioned, it's cool here. In fact, as you leave this room, the temperature rapidly drops and becomes chilly. Not necessarily like dangerously chilly, but colder than maybe you've been anyplace else in the maze. There's a mist, sort of just a gentle fog that clings to the ground. And in this section of the maze, the floor and walls before were, like I said, this bright blue kind of strange horn-like or ivory-like material, right? Here they take on a very severe metallic sheen, right? Or actually dark metal. Not even necessarily polished metal, just sort of a dark, almost like very rough iron, but it's smooth, right? There are vines that are growing here and there along the ground, and as you journey in the direction that you believe is taking you toward the other Vegapygmy settlement, you can hear off to one offshoot of the corridor. You can hear almost a gentle whirring kind of noise, just kind of a coming from off to your left.
I'll try to sneak up and see if I can get a peek at it.
Okay. You sneak up down the corridor about 40 feet or so. You see a set of large double doors, and they have a faded yellow stripe across both of them.
Okay.
And as you look at this thing, you can see that there's some sort of discoloration or stain or something, but from 40, 50 feet away, it's hard to tell exactly what's going on.
On the door?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay. I'm just going to, if there's nothing immediately dangerous, I'll just kind of motion to follow and continue forward.
Okay. You continue forward, and as you get closer to this thing, you can tell that it looks like there are some scratch marks on the door. The set of double doors, maybe some scorch marks. It looks as though tools or something have been applied to maybe try and open or otherwise breach this thing, and they have been unsuccessful. There is also enough of a layer of kind of fungus and scum on it for you to realize that whatever attempt this was, maybe these were made multiple times or over the course of a period of whatever months or years, but like it's not recent, right? It's not within the past weeks or months. There's enough other indications on there that say, well, whatever tried to get through into this thing gave up.
You could probably break it.
Haven't found the door yet that could stop you.
It does have one of those panels next to it. And the panel has a softly glowing yellow color to it.
Does it have a slot for a card?
Yes.
Well, we should try that first. I'll insert the purple.
Yeah. Again, it blinks gray and yellow, and there's a and then your card comes.
How long is the gray and yellow?
It's just a gentle, probably like a half second each,
And the same noise as before, so I assume it's not going to open. What are you thinking?
Trying to decide if Grayson would know to try this. No, he wouldn't. I guess we'll go and open the door.
Okay. Very good. So,
the ID bracelets, he probably wouldn't pick it. They're just jewelry.
Noted. So, roll 2d12 for me, because this is a much sturdier door, right? 2d6, I'm sorry.
6, okay. 5, 6, so 11.
11, yeah. So, I mean...
Oh
I
my!
don't know what it is.
I feel weaker than in my doppelganger form. Doppelgangers are inherently weaker than you think they are.
So the good news for you is after a bit of hacking, you kind of find where maybe the lacking or latching mechanism is between these two doors, and it looks like these doors are maybe thicker than the standard doors that you've been working through, right?
Torm's taking some of my strength to punish me.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the other possibility, is that you're genuinely a worse person.
Yeah.
Although, in today's climate, the worse you are, the more power you have.
Aww.
Wow. So you kind of hack your way down and finally find like a couple of the key areas that are like keeping these things closed, and you like you make quite a bit of noise, but you slice them apart and then begrudgingly, with a lot of effort, it finally slides off to one side. So you don't get both of the doors to open full wide, but get one of them to kind of slide back, right? And you see a dark area beyond.
So we see it real well. Oh, wait, I see it real well.
And
We see it real well. You don't.
What?
I see 60 feet of it.
Right?
yeah, that's
Me
true,
too.
right? But it's not lit here except for the glow coming from a few specific little patches and panels that are studded along some of the countertops across the far side of the room. It's a large chamber. It has a number of shelves and cabinets that have some sort of transparent glass-like material in it, and there's also a door back on the right-hand side. This does not look like the same set of like sturdy double doors, but it's a smaller door that is also closed. But this is basically a bunch of cabinets here.
Some sort of storage, perhaps.
I wonder what's in it.
And in this particular room, you notice that you all know something about alchemy, I'm sure. So there's a number of what look like alchemists type of implements here, right? So there are glass vials or some sort of material. There's vials, there's beakers. There's a number of different tubes and various equipment that are attached to all of these things that look like maybe this is some version of an alchemist lab that's been enhanced with some other magical aid and machinery.
I suggest we not touch anything.
Yeah.
Because an alchemist lab on the best of days is a place you don't want to hang around.
That's true.
I'm not fond of this stuff. It reminds me of Gingy.
Yeah.
So the other thing you notice is as you've gone down the corridor and finally when you get into this space, the radiant glow that surrounds Ava and has outlined Dawnraiser subsides, and especially once you walk through those two doors, it goes out.
Odd.
Kind of liked that.
So it kind of like, it started when we went through the first room and got better and better, but then at a certain point it started to dissipate, or was it just like as soon as we entered this room it ended?
It's not necessarily that either of those clear cut, right? It was certainly noticeable when you went in the room with the crates. And then it became very pronounced in the following room with the weird metal boxes and the large, steel vaults. And then it would kind of like ebb and flow, where it would like flare up, and then maybe it would go down, and there'd be little bursts, and then it would kind of go away. And then when you walked through this large kind of vault door, this yellow vault door that you just opened up, it went out completely.
I mean, it's only a theory, but this dungeon we're in has levels, and I think perhaps the Godfire is somewhere. I mean, it's definitely below us. We know that for certain. But I guess the area we may have walked about, it's here, and we kind of walked through the area where above it, but now we're maybe past it. I don't know.
Yeah, we should start making a map of some sort.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how to go down. I guess we can't do that yet until we get the card.
Yeah. I think we get a card and then we go back to where we entered the dungeon and use the card there.
All right, well, let's look around here and, like you said, try not to touch anything.
Yeah.
Unless we're sure it's safe.
Okay. So you're not really planning to touch anything in this room. Do you want to go back to that other door?
No, keep going. We got to find this other tribe.
Yeah, we want to look around the room, but not touch anything unless we know it's safe.
Okay. Well, so like I said, there's a number of cabinets. There's a glass,
And there's a door.
Glass cabinet. There's what look like kind of like a countertop or desk that has a number of different glowing panels in it.
Oh.
And then there's a door on the right-hand side, and then there's more cabinets. So it looks like, unless you can either go back out into the hallway and kind of continue into the labyrinth or maze,
Okay.
or you could go through this smaller yellow door that's in the back of the room.
Yeah, let's check out this door. Is that where the machine noise is coming from too? Or is that in this room?
It's in this room, and you're not sure if it continues beyond into the other room, but it's definitely like suffuses this area.
Okay, we'll head for that door then.
Okay. Okay. So you go back there. There's, as you've seen before, another one of these doors. It has a yellow glowing panel in it again.
I believe we have the key for this one. And he's holding it.
All right. Do you want to try a key, or do you want to try something else, or do you want to just bash?
I mean,
Oh yeah, I'll try my key. Not very hopeful. Just
Yeah. That doesn't work.
all you.
I'll do it in 3 swings.
Okay. All right. So you smashed this one open.
See, what do you want my sword for? Yours is much better, clearly.
Okay.
You're right. Coveting your sword is part of the reason I'm being punished.
Oh, come on. It's a cool sword.
Yeah.
Ava wants it too, don't you, Ava?
Yeah, I do. I really want it.
See? Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. So, in this room, you see long tubes that are set horizontally along the wall, and they're sort of stacked, one above the other, one above the other, one above the other, and there is a light package of dirt in each of them that's maybe about yay deep. You can see that there is some sort of glass. Oh, Tippy's giving us a raid!
Whoa!
Whoa!
Tippy.
Tippy raid! Fwah,
Shields
fwah.
Pew pew pew!
Pew, 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 pew.
It looks like there's some sort of rope or tubing or something that goes through this thing. Whatever plants may have been in these is clearly like some sort of very bizarre kind of garden arrangement here, right? But they appear to be dead. Except for in the very bottom right, each of these things is sectioned off, right? So not only does the tube go long, but it's got sections, and it looks like maybe there's little hatches that you could potentially open in each one of these. But the one in the bottom right is filled with this spider web of this like red kind of like mossy kind of fuzz that's just completely like encapsulates this thing. Yeah, again, there's a countertop on the other side that has a number of these different light panels that are set into the surface of it, and it looks like there's a couple different cabinets underneath. What would you like to do? There's a third door on the far wall. So those are those things.
Look around a little bit. I guess we'll just start searching the room.
Yeah.
Okay. And in what respect, anything special about how you're searching, or any place in particular you want to start or focus on?
I'll look at the dirt. Those little piles of dirt you were talking about.
Okay. All right. So give me a nature check.
It's my jam. I should have used my... Oh, I guess I didn't need it. That is a 24.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, you're looking at this stuff, and you can tell that whatever light may have been used to try and grow something in this soil, like it has, like the top layer of soil looks like it's been burned almost, like it's been exposed to some sort of incredibly either like heat or light, or it's a weird effect that you haven't actually seen. It's almost like somebody poured a layer of oil you know, onto the soil. Like if you could evenly spread a layer of oil onto the top of the soil, and then like flash fire it so that all of the topsoil would like crust and burn. That's what it looks like. And that, you know, any conventional plant life that would be growing in these things would have been killed by that process. But the far right bottom tube, whatever's in there, seems to be thriving on this, and it has actually like broken the clumps of soil into like component parts, and kind of like busted it apart. The strange thing about what's in that compartment is it does not have a root system. It does not have leaves. It just looks like it's some sort of like mossy fungus or something like that, right? So if you want to picture like a real beardy kind of like threaded growth, that's what you see inside that thing.
Strange.
Just one of those, you know, funguses that infects ants' minds and causes them to go crazy. You know.
Nothing to worry about. We're not ants.
What about you guys? What would you like to focus on?
Said there were cabinets?
Yes.
I look in those.
All right. Give me either a perception or intelligence investigation check, whichever you prefer.
I'll do perception. 12.
Okay. So you open up these cabinets, and several of them have sacks of soil in them, which is kind of surprising to you, right? They're not necessarily like sacks per se, but they're like very light ceramic containers. They're almost kind of like, it's a weird kind of, it has kind of the flexibility of like a piece of cloth, but it has the rigidity of, you know, of a heavy paper or something like that. That's maybe a more accurate thing, is like if it was a really heavy paper, but it has this very smooth, almost kind of slick feel to it. Anyway, there's several, what you would consider either barrels or drums of this stuff in some of these cabinets. But nestled in amongst the cabinets, you find, you're not sure what it is. It looks like maybe it's a couple of belts that are somehow attached together, right? And they're made of this stretchy kind of silk material that we've described before, right? But they're festooned with these long metallic buckles, right? And by long, I mean they're probably 6 to 8 inches long, and they have like they're almost like a little case, but they're flexible. They bend back and forth. They're metal. They do have a number of strange little gears and various little knobs and knurls in them that you don't really recognize what that is. So it's almost like a piece of jewelry that you could wear as like a vest, right? So it would maybe go under each armpit and over the shoulder, and it connects in the back, and it looks like it might connect in the front too. And in the front, it has a large, almost like a clockwork knob kind of situation on the front, right? And there's two things that you notice about that. One is that this knob very clearly has a black side, like half of the circle is black and half of the circle is white, and it's pointed like this way right now. And then the other thing you notice is that when you click on this thing, like if you were to, you snap it apart and snap it together, there's a little hatch that you can flip open, and that hatch is the same exact size and shape as that disc that you found, with a little cookie cutter chomp taken out of it.
Okay, I'll grab it and be like, hey, look at this. It looks like I could fit this thing in it. Should I try?
I mean, sure. Why not?
I'll do it.
Okay. You put it in, and there's a very gentle kind of like hum, and that's all that happens immediately.
It makes noise. It's like the monkey.
And the other thing that you notice is that there is now a little like faint blue light that kind of just like blinks every, I don't know, 2 seconds or something like that on the thing. Just kind of like boom.
It's doing things.
Boom.
What is it doing?
I don't know. It's making light and noise.
It's a very, tiny.
All right. Well, I guess bring it along and see if anything happens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Grayson.
I'm looking for anything that seems threatening. Any more like weird balls that are going to turn into spiders?
All right. Give me either intelligence investigation or perception check.
Run to the bathroom.
That is 12.
12. All right. So
No spider balls?
Look around. You do see a number of those now that you're looking for those spider balls things. You don't you don't see those, but the one thing that you notice is you remember those glass globes or hemispheres that were mounted above the strange cabinets.
Yeah.
Several of those are mounted on these desk areas, right, where the light panels are. There's several of them like mounted, above those things. And that strikes you, and as that catches your eye, as that catches your eye, you're looking at like there's these various blinking lights and things like that, and all this stuff you just kind of don't inherently trust a little bit, right? Like you've already been attacked by one of these things before. And you're looking, and there's a little glint of something that looks like it's maybe wedged behind the desk. And you reach back there and fish it out, and you find one of these.
Cool. You found another one.
Oh. Okay. This might help us, because this is yellow. And the doors are yellow.
Oh, matching colors.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah, so this may unlock some of the doors in the future.
Does the door in here have a panel?
The far door, yes, it does. And actually, there's one on your side from the way that you came in.
We did destroy that door, but the panel might still do something.
I go up to the panel of the destroyed door.
Of the destroyed one?
Yeah.
All right. So you put it in the panel of the destroyed one.
I found a key.
Ooh.
It lights up, like solid yellow, and then lights up a little bit brighter, and then it slides to the side until it gets to the part where it's broken, and then there's just this horrible like scraping, like.
Okay. Yeah, so this will get us into...
Make it stop! It's making a lot of noise!
I pull it out. Okay. Alright. So I guess I can open that door.
By all means.
Okay.
All right, you drop it in, and the little, the panel goes yellow, and then there's this little pad area, that lights up underneath it. What do you do?
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Did it look like it was like different symbols or just a pad?
It looks like different symbols.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the symbols are.
Like from before?
They were different symbols each time.
Just try some. Here, I'll try some. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
I mean, the combination of it could take forever.
If I roll 4 20s in a row, I get the exact.
So are you actually pressing some of the symbols?
Yeah, I'll press like 3 of them.
Okay, so you press 3 of them, and you hear it start to give that familiar like sound, right? And it goes, and then all of a sudden you see like this pattern like chase back and forth. And the 3 that you pushed like light up, boom, 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 and the door slides to the side.
You did it!
What am I not good at?
That's
amazing.
All right.
It's impressive.
Thank you.
Again, you enter. This chamber is. Where is this? Okay. Yes.
Now I've got one to play with.
All right. So you see what to first blush looks like maybe some sort of
I can't blush.
Not right now. You
Yeah.
can't.
I also don't have a mouth, so I hope that's not disconcerting that you're hearing me in your head.
You don't have a mouth?
He doesn't have a mouth.
Or nose. I'm just a humanoid, gray humanoid shape with eyes.
Can't you just shapeshift yourself a mouth?
No, this is,
I mean, like,
this is my punishment.
but you could probably.
This is who I'm supposed to be.
Can I get some chalk and draw a mouth? Just a smiley face?
How about like a little hand puppet?
Oh. Now I'm really weirded out.
It's all wrong.
Could you just move your chin a little bit when you talk? I'll pretend it's a mask. There you go. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a little odd, but you know.
like this. Wait, no.
Yeah.
That.
Yep. Only in a full suit of armor. I mean, it depends. Some of them are more alien looking than others.
This guy looks friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to be this? This is awesome.
Because I don't have a mouth, so it's weird that I'm talking into your
I don't
head.
know.
You could shape yourself.
They just have to
yourself
Google Doppelganger 5e.
Yeah. Easy.
It's all bad.
That's what he looks like with armor.
Someone draw that. Go, draw some armor. Doodle your own Grayson.
You take a screenshot and then just...
And then draw a smiley face on his mouth.
All right. So this chamber has a number of. Again, it looks almost like an alchemist's laboratory, right? But on a larger scale, and all of the various beakers and flasks and tubing and all that sort of stuff is actually all. I don't know what. That's not good.
Well, at least that one has a mouth.
That's
Right. Is this the mouth you want?
No.
Let's not kink shame Garav on stream, shall we? But all of the equipment here is all of the alchemist equipment is much larger, and it looks like it's all made of polished metal, right? So there's a number of tanks and various strange metal hoses and things like that. There's a long set of very sterile white-looking cabinets that are along one wall. There is a there's actually like the far end of the place has some sort of dark metal glass, or not dark metal, but darkened glass. So like somewhat transparent or translucent, but it's really like smoked glass is what it looks like all along that wall, right?
From floor to ceiling?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, there's a frame. There's a slight frame that's about yay wide that goes around the edge of it.
Oh. Okay.
But what immediately draws your attention is a large piece of equipment that has multiple different strange arms, you know, like metal jointed arms attached to it. It's circular. It's like the size of maybe like a hogshead barrel stood up and down. And standing next to that, leaning on a large white ceramic table, is a strange, yellow-skinned man wearing some sort of helmet and holding a large pointed pen in his hand.
That's a silly image. I love it.
Yeah.
It looks like Silver Age Iron Man.
Ooh, thank you.
The 10.
Thank
Hey,
you.
okay, thank you for the 10.
May I see that better?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if we need. Is that close enough in our?
It's pretty good, I think.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that I've got the description of this right.
Welcome to the dentist's office. Who's
Yeah.
next?
This
Is it you, Dom?
whole
Dom? How are your teeth?
This whole dungeon is very.
Want your teeth and your eyes?
It's very
How are you,
Shattered Sea from Joe Abercrombie.
Find what I'm looking for here. I just want to double check the description on this thing.
He's holding a weapon. It's a syringe.
Oh my. Attack! Is he evil?
Hey, who wants to get doped up?
Y'all want to try heroin?
I invented it.
There's so many drugs here.
I'm the
Okay, so it gives you a it gives you a quick glance, and it says, "Ausweisen nicht erkannt."
I was afraid he'd say that.
Can you understand him?
I don't speak German.
With the
German?
Um,
What the hell is German?
all right. I feel, but I was. Torm punished me for or I don't. Or maybe Torm is saying if I'm going to use it, I have to be what I am. I don't,
Yeah, go with that one.
I just don't. I can't. Torm is making sure that he's showing me that if I don't want, he's punished. This is a punishment for using what I swore I wouldn't.
All right, we'll do it the hard way.
You put your hand up like that, and it draws forth this strange pen with a small needle coming forth of it, and it says, "Geben Sie eine Stichprobe."
is the attacking? Is that attacking?
I don't.
Can you
That sounded
guys
like a
sense it?
question. I don't know.
Do you sense this thing? Its presence?
I divine sense. Is it a celestial fiend or undead?
It is not.
It's just a thing. It doesn't. It's not evil.
That doesn't tell you if it's
That's
evil or not. Just told you it's one of those things.
Thank
If
you,
it's one of those
General
things, it's evil.
Pants.
It could be a human and be evil.
It can act evil, but humans aren't evil. They can act evil, but they aren't evil.
Inherently evil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's a choice.
I got you. Okay, I understand.
It's not. If it were an evil creature, I would know. And I don't know what it is. It's from here. Does it look like?
Thanks
no.
for the resub, General Fancy Pants.
I mean, all we know of the people that were here before is scattered bones. So I don't know if it's one of those things, or if it's the other tribe, like he spoke of, the ones that eat of the flesh.
They look really different.
He's not red, right?
No, he's got
Yeah.
like a very odd shade of yellow, right? It's almost like this gold, but maybe not quite as vibrant. It's almost kind of this color, right? Which, but the strange thing about it is it's incredibly even. His complexion is incredibly even. There's not like, everyone else has age spots, and their pigment's a little darker in places and whatnot. But this guy is incredibly even.
Does Dawnraiser sense him?
It just senses. No, he does not.
If it's a construct or undead, it would not sense him.
Does not sense him.
It's not undead, but if Dawnraiser says it's not alive,
More than likely a construct, but I pull out the purple card and he's like, "Do you have any of these lying around? There's another one. Just looking for these."
Suchen Sie Anschluss.
He doesn't understand what I'm saying, and I don't understand what he's saying, so...
Saying something about keep.
And it turns to you, and
am I invisible to it?
It's a great question. Yeah, so it turns and it looks like straight past you, and it goes, "Suchen Sie Anschluss."
I walk right up to it. Does it seem to react to my...
Grayson, what are you doing?
I don't think it sees me.
What?
The leader of the tribe said that doppelgangers. He called us the ghost children, and it said that we are invisible to the eyes of the gods.
You think this is an eye of the god?
It's not. It's created by. Like I said, I don't think that these are gods. I think that they think that they are, because they don't know any better. But what he's saying is essentially that them and their creation, whatever their creations are, like this construct, doesn't register me the same way it would register you two.
Well, why don't me and Ava attempt to talk to it while you look around?
Okay.
So what do you think of my outfit?
Give it your eye. They seem to like eyes.
Suchen Sie Anschluss.
I?
Die Frage muss beantwortet werden.
That's different.
I'm just gonna kind of.
It turns and it walks over to a cabinet, you know, or actually it walks over to one of these desktop countertop things that you've been seeing throughout this portion of the maze here, and it, you know, manipulates one of the panels there, and suddenly you hear tss,
Something's happening.
and this panel on the desktop opens up, and there's this small waft of mist and vapor that comes out of the top of this thing, and it it reaches in and grabs onto what appears to be some sort of like little wire handle or something like that, of maybe like a very fine spoon or something like that, and it pulls a similar one, pulls on a similar one that must, you know, whatever it is must be about this big around, and it lifts it up, and you can only kind of see this over, you know, over its shoulder a little bit, and so it's hard to tell exactly what happens, but it lifts something up out of this mist, and when it turns around, you see a small circular eyeball trailing a piece of metal cord that ends in a little bit of root, and it's lying on this very pristine looking metal tray, and it's kind of just embedded in this soft haze of cool fog, and it turns around to you and it says, "Suchen Sie Anschluss, ja oder nein?"
Does it look like a human eyeball?
It looks like a human eyeball, but it does not have a pupil, right? It's the same size.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't have a pupil, and you're not sure about the weird, like, you know, metal tail thing coming out of the back
Seems
end.
kind of like it wants to replace one of our eyeballs with that thing.
That kind of makes sense, I think,
What?
because the machine box thing looked at your eye, and like it wanted to see your eyes, and the other tribe steals the eyes of the gods. So perhaps this eye is some sort of magical device, and that they use them for something, and that it is used in some of these machines, perhaps.
You think this is some sort of doctor's laboratory where they switch out eyes?
Perhaps.
Anyway, it seems like he's asking.
I mean, this is a very weird place. I wouldn't suggest you replace your eye.
Oh, don't worry. That's not where I was going with this.
Yeah.
Well, he says
This
he's
here?
a dog.
This here? Switch? Trade? You want me to have this eyeball? Does it have to go in my eye? Can I just kind of reach for it, like, can I just...
And it like moves it away. It turns and moves away from you and goes over to.
And I go.
It goes over to this big weird table, right? Are you going to try and pluck it away?
Well, if it's not paying attention to me, I guess I could. If you're trying to
I
go
could
for it.
Try.
Oh, that's true. You could.
So it's moving over towards this table, and it it doesn't even appear to say anything, but this whole contraption like kind of comes to life, and you know see the limbs start to move, and you hear like a different kind of like some other strange whirring noises coming from this thing, and there's actually like a kind of like like those noises start coming from this piece of equipment over in the corner here, and you know, unless you're going to do something else, it begins to like place this eye thing or whatever onto a tray next to this table.
Grayson, snatch it. So for me, I.
All right, so give me a deception check.
Okay. I will use my second advantage for this, because I'm not good at this. I'll use some bumps, actually. Might as well. Oh, wow, that's real crap. I'm going to reroll that. I'm going to roll the crap out of that. That was a
1 and 5.
1 and 5 with advantage. There we go. 19 plus 3 is 22 plus deception is what you said?
Yeah.
-1.
All right.
So 21? Yeah.
All right. Well,
Blackjack.
so that is sufficient that like you like get in its face and it, you know, kind of like now you're going to grab this thing?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, give me a dexterity check.
Pump it. Take him to Bomb City.
I just like I am kind of invisible.
Uh-huh.
At least I think I am. I'm gonna not take it then because I spent all my rerolls already. Because that's a, let's see, with dexterity.
Yeah.
So that would be, let's see, 3 plus my 3 bumps, 6 minus 1 is 5.
5. All right. Well, so what happens is before you can get over there, the the big weird machine, right, like reaches over with this strange sucker type thing and, you know, pops the thing into place, and it kind of like retracts into a tube.
Yeah.
That it's armed with.
I checked some of the other drawer, like the drawer where he took it from. Is there another drawer next to it that looks the same?
There's a number of different little panels and compartments in the top of this countertop when you take a look at it.
Does it look like there's another section that seems the same as the one he got the eye from?
Give me an intelligence check.
I want that eye. Okay, so that's probably not great. 8.
8.
I don't.
Grayson, could you? I know you're iffy about transforming right now, but could you transform into a human that's missing an eye?
Why?
I mean, I'm just saying he's willing to do the operation, and if you were a human that was missing an eye, we could take it out after the fact, and you could just change back into whatever you wanted.
But we don't know what this eye would do, or if I could pull it out, or if I would survive having an eye installed in me.
Those are all very good, very good statements to make.
All right. I trust you.
What? Oh, right. I mean, I trust you to be able to do this. I think you can.
So just my previous self?
Up to you. Whatever's missing an eye. You ever been a pirate or? No. Oh.
Missing eyes.
You ever seen? You ever seen one? You could try that guy if you ever seen a pirate before.
I shapeshift into Grayson Hale if I'm able to.
Yeah, you're able to.
An eye.
Which eye?
My left eye.
Okay.
Okay.
I also don't know if he'll be able to see you still.
Yeah.
But it's worth a shot.
All right.
My friend here is ready for the operation.
And it turns and it looks at Ava.
That one. This one. This one. This one. This one. I don't think it's
It's worth a shot.
What happens if I lay on the table?
All right, so you're gonna do that? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
So
My good friend Thon asked me to.
What? You flipped a thing!
So you lay on the table. Now, when you make physical contact with the table, there are a number of different noises that occur, various beeps and whirs, and and above you,
Weird snoring sound.
So above you, you see another one of those kind of like weird hemispherical like installations, right? But and it scans the length of the table, and it all of a sudden you hear a noise come from the guy, and he says, "Unerkannte Nachmeldung, unerkannte biologische Nachmeldung," and suddenly it turns back towards the weird desktop area, right? And it begins like furiously manipulating some sort of panel or whatnot on the thing. And that huge glass area at the end of the room, that opaque smoked glass suddenly like rolls back up, right? And there's this enormous cloud of chilling vapor that pours forth from inside this area. And at the far end of the room, encased in tube after tube after tube, is what appears to be the corpse of doppelganger, 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 doppelganger. That is where we're going to leave it for tonight. That is our cliffhanger. We have a number of different things that have been unlocked that will pay off for sure, although some of them have in part paid off here tonight already. But it will pay off next session. So this has been the Ironkeep Chronicles. Will our heroes decide to get voluntary eye surgery? What is the true mystery behind the minefield of dead doppelgangers? All of this and more, maybe we'll delve into that tomorrow on Disorganized Play. Dom, what time do you want to do Disorganized Play tomorrow? I have an audition in the afternoon, so we're going to move that up a little bit.
Let's do 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, so we'll be at 1 o'clock Pacific, moving up 1 hour, so you can catch that tomorrow. Hey, big round of applause for our players, Mr. Gaurav Galati!
Hi, everybody. You can catch me on Twitter and all the social things at DoubleGXG. And you can catch me on Friday nights, same channel, same time, 8 p.m. Pacific, playing Savage Worlds Deadlands Reloaded. Wildcards is the name of the show, and Megan's on that show, and Dom's on that show. Jordan and Jordan are on that show. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you then.
All right, let's hear from Megan Caves-Kellerman, shall we?
Thank you. Yes, I am Megan Caves. You can find me on Twitter at Megan Caves. It's spelled MEGHANCAVES. And yes, I'm on Wildcards on Fridays. Also, Gaurav, Jordan Caves-Kellerman, and I have a GM RPG podcast called Experience Pointers, which comes out every other Tuesday. But if you are a Patreon backer here at Saving Throw Show for $10 and up, you actually get it a week early.
Yeah.
And I think 12 just came out yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Big Bads and You.
Big Bads and You.
Oh, and you can find us on Twitter at EXP Pointers Pod.
Did it.
You did it. Solid.
Eric Reichert, where can people find you on Twitter where they were so inclined?
They can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram at mostly shit. Yeah. Or they can also follow me on Twitch, because I've been doing a lot of Twitch playing these days on my Twitch channel, Mostly Eric. I've been playing a lot of GTA RP. I just got whitelisted for a new server that I'm excited for. I hope I'm going to really enjoy, but we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can tune in for all of that.
Awesome. Big round of applause for Mr. Dom Zook, the man behind the computers and the keyboards and the cameras. Thank you so much. He keeps everything rolling right along here and rides shotgun on the madness. So I want to thank everybody who donated tonight. We really had a gangbusters run here. And thanks to your generous donations, Avril's int boost is not going to be +2, it's going to be +4.
Holy
That
cow.
was what the stretch goal was.
That's
for tonight.
bonkers.
There's also several other things that are going to pay off. That we unlocked a bunch of tiers tonight, which wasn't necessarily
I had
entirely
every
anticipated.
intention of
but,
staying a doppelganger
but,
for a while, but Gaurav was like, no, just be Grayson for a second.
Just for a second.
I thought a lot of interesting secrets got unlocked thanks to you in chat, and we can talk more about those tomorrow on Disorganized Play at 1 o'clock Pacific, as I mentioned.
Can't wait to
I want
watch
to give a big thanks to all of our mods who help keep the channel safe, friendly, clean, and accessible for all of the newbies who come by. It was great to see some new faces, have some new people sub up. We really appreciate your interest and enthusiasm. You people spreading the word is the way that really the only way that we grow the channel, because we don't advertise in any other way, shape, or form. So it's strictly a word of mouth type of opportunity. Please do follow us on Twitter. Tomorrow's Disorganized Play. Tomorrow night is Star Wars Never Tell Me the Odds with America's DM, David Crennan, and then Friday night is Wild Cards, as we mentioned, and Sunday at 5 we have another episode of another episode of Tempting Fate. So you can tune in for all of those things. You can do exclamation point calendar and see all of that magic right there in the chat window. So thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, let's dungeon!